Hello everyone, Shriram here.
Hello, Shriram.
Welcome to
Hi,
ShriLearning.
Shriram.
Hey, good morning, good evening. Hope I'm clear, audible to most of you.
Good morning, Shriram. Yeah.
Morning.
Yes. Yeah.
Hey, let's see each other if you're ready. If you're ready to show your face. I know it's early in the morning. Ramanujan is here. Hey, Ramanujan, good to see.
Good morning, Shriram.
Great. Which city you're from?
Bangalore.
Okay, good. Good. Okay, I know some of you may not be ready. That's okay. Arun is here. Hey, Arun. Good to see. Okay, fine, great. Good to have you all in the first day of program where we're going to talk about PMI-ACP, Agile Certified Practitioner. Some of you should be aware of this certification. Some may be at the start. First, I want to give a thank note to everyone who are joining these courses, who are watching from other channels. I appreciate your interest to learn Agile. Agile is becoming a trending term in the industry now. Once I remember years back, only IT industry folks talk about Agile. Now it is becoming very trend that every industry people, whether like it or not, dislike it, they keep talking. Some of them scold it, but still they keep talking about it. So that's how the market is. If you go and talk to any person from a construction or infrastructure industry, they may hate Agile to the core. Until you understand it, you hate it. The moment you understand it, you like it. Okay, that's how the model is. It's something like cycling. The moment you start learning the cycling, you really hate yourself because you may fall down for a few times. You may wonder how these guys are driving the bicycle just by two-wheel and balancing it. Have anybody wondered it? At least I did in my school days. How the hell these guys are balancing, man, right? And I hate it to the core until I fell down 4 or 5 times. The 6th time when I got the balance, I felt, wow, this is good. So we drive the bicycle and then we try to take our brother or sibling as making them sit in the back. And sometime later, leave your both the hands and drive the bicycle. You try all that out. I somehow feel any new concepts, could be technology, could be agile, could be anything you learn. Initially, that fear will be there, dislike will be there. The moment you get the rhythm of it, you will start liking it. So if something is there for more than decades, there is some meaning behind that. If not, it won't survive, right? See, if agile doesn't have a meaning, definitely it won't survive more than few years. If it is surviving, there is some sense behind that. So first, I appreciate you. Thanks for taking this decision to learn Agile, which is very much a trending in the market. And also, it's going to help you in a corporate day-to-day life, right? Let's do that. Great. Ramanujan, is that a very antique clock behind you? There is a clock behind you I can see, used in the very pretty old one. Is it so?
This was from the first time. Just ordered it online.
Some reason I missed your voice. Did you say it's from your, maybe some reason I missed your voice?
No, this was an antique. This was from Pepperfry, not an antique piece as such. We just ordered it online.
Looks pretty good, man. I thought it's after World War, Hitler gave this gift and went away. Kind of nice one. Looks good. Okay, great. I appreciate everybody for joining here. You can keep your cam and mic off mode. Now we will have a time where we'll get the cam on. Maybe you can get ready. If anybody not ready for the cam, we will have an introduction session there. You can come up on the cam. Right? Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Right. With this, we can get in. So what I do is I'm going to bring up some content for you. What I'm going to bring is I'm going to bring some of the, let's say, websites, some of the slides for you. So I'm going to help out more for a lot of details. By the way, how many of you are aware that ACP exam is 100% agile and PMP is 50% agile? How many of you are aware of it?
Yeah, I'm aware, Shriram.
You got some idea? Okay. Yeah. If you ask me 4 or 5 months back, I would tell no. PMP is purely into little predictive model, little bit agile. Now agile has become very high in PMP. So we can see a lot of PMP folks also listening these sessions these days to get hold of the subject. Fantastic. Oh, Ruchi is here. Ruchi, welcome. Ruchi is a prominent candidate for both PMP and ACP. So what's happening, Ruchi, on your PMP side? Okay, let's go a little more. Okay,
Hi,
first bet.
Sriram. I
Hey.
missed the first part. Hi, how are you doing?
I was checking out how is it going with your PMP stuff. Are you getting hold of Agile in both the places?
Agile, I'm working, and PMP, I'm like still little slow, but I'll catch up soon because I got a deadline from my workplace to finish it by 30th April, both the certifications. So I'm working on a deadline, and I'm working overtime, and I'm managing 7 projects right now. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'll do it. Indians are mostly disaster managers, so
Okay.
I think I perform better under pressure.
Very good. So you have a deadline to close your certificates by 30th of April.
Yeah, so I don't know if I told you, like I work for federal contract, right? So let me put my camera on. Yeah, so I work for a federal contract. So my project is undergoing rebid right now, and for me to be the project manager, that is a mandatory requirement. And since I belong to Agile Development Unit, so I have to do ACP as well. I'm dead scared, and I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to do it. That's it.
Okay, can sense that pressure at you.
Too much.
Okay,
too
all
much
should be
actually.
good. Yeah, all should
Writing
be good.
proposal at the same time. Oh man, don't ask me. Don't let me start on that. Like I won't stop. Then I'll be taking the class then.
Nice, got you. So what's your time there now?
It's just 10:07.
10:07 p.m. Okay, good. Thanks for staying late night and to listen to the classes.
No problem.
Appreciate it. Okay, great. Let's kickstart. I can see Ruchi having a pressure, something like this. Many have a different pressure. Also now the appraisal season going on. So we should show in our corporate that we are getting certified. There are 2 things of learning certification. One is to learn what is new in the market. One is to learn, will this give me promotion or growth? One is to learn to survive in the market. So there are certain places where for survival reason, we have to get it. Hey, are you going to use it? No, not at all. I don't have an idea about it, but that should be in my resume, right? That should be in my corporate. That's also there. But whatever reason you learn it, learning is useful, right? So, years back, you would have learned a skill. That skill would have been useful now. You may not know what will be useful. For example, mostly it's the driving skills, swimming skills. These are skills we don't realize it's going to be save your life. We may think it's okay just for fun. We would have learned at the age of 10, 15 or 20, but later you would have found that is what helping us a lot. So any skill, learn with the passion, learn with the interest, let it stay with you, right? I keep telling people that up to a certain age, your parents sponsoring for education, we don't realize what passion is. They have some dream, they give the money, we have to read. So we don't bother much. The moment you spend money from your pocket, there you start realizing, oh man, each dollar counts. That's the reason you can see every class we keep seeing people bargaining for the price, bargaining for the books. It's a valuable bargain because they want to know, is the money worth the time spending? But that passion should be on the studies also. People buy the book. After buying the book, it drops. People join the classes. After joining the class, it starts drops. We shouldn't leave that way. It should go forward and make it happen. Great. With this good wishes, we'll start first day of the session. Thanks once again for everyone for participating here. Quickly, I'll bring some information for you so that we will kickstart. Okay, where is my Zoom? Okay, you're free to use the chat messages. You can free to use voice if needed, as we have lesser people around. It's good to use a voice also. Great. Hope you all see the website. I believe you should be aware of this website called PMI.org. This is a site, this is actually the organization which is hosting the certificates which you're going to see now. Of course, so there are a lot of certificates under them. One of them is a PMI, PMP, it's a top rated, and also in Agile, ACP is a top rated. Some can question me, so what is CSM, what is CSPO, what is Scaled Agile? There are different institutes who are doing that. I don't want to compare each one, but at the standard wise, I will tell you ACP is a top. The reason is the coverage of the content, and also the way they put the questions in the exam. It's a purely top rated. I don't see this kind of toughness exam with Agile in any places, because usually the Agile exams are lightweight. If I go to CSM, it's lightweight. If I go to Scaled Agile, that's also lightweight. Whereas ACP makes us to read well and also gives a lot of scenario to think on, answer the exam. So the exam toughness makes us to read well, right? That's what the interesting factor about ACP. If anybody have a questions on ACP certification, request you to visit this website, pma.org. Of course, I'm going to explain it elaborately, but still, if you want to read through from their website, you can read here. I'll talk about these factors: who to apply, what is the selection and eligibility criteria, what is the fee structure. Oh man, this is very important, right? Those things I will talk more about it. If anybody want to know how the exam would be, visit our YouTube channel, where we keep posting about success stories. I know some of you know familiar about our success stories. We do post success stories of PMI-ACP certificate. So please listen through that. That gives some clarity for you. Right, with this, I can get to the classes, where I can start with here. Can somebody confirm that you are able to see the slides, hear me well, see me also? If all three are good, fantastic. Nitin says yes for all. Okay, great, good. Sometimes internet lag may happen. That time my voice may drop, but again, let know. Usually we have a better thing here to support you. You are free to ask questions. Don't hesitate. Stop me. But if you feel the flow is going good, you feel that, okay, in the flow, maybe I'll get the detail, you can give little breathing time. If not, you feel no way, I want right away answer, you can ask me. You can use the chat window. You can speak up to me also. That's the way we learn things. Usually the first week, the questions may be higher because of the curiosity to learn. Let's keep the curiosity going forward all the classes. So this is going to be a weekend session that is going to be 7:30 to 10:30 a.m. IST. I know some of you from EST, PST time zones, little late for you, but I appreciate your passion to learn. Consider as you are watching a movie in Netflix tonight, right? And I appreciate the people in India. Wake up early in the morning, 7:30. Oh man, how many of you kept alarm to wake up today? Anybody here who kept alarm to wake up for the classes? Okay, some, yeah, Srinivas says yes. I know it's not easy, right? Friday night, late night calls will be there. Yeah, you guys would slept late. Being in corporate, what's happening is, at least in India, we have the nature of working with the US time zone. So when you work in the US time zone, what happens is you have to support the calls late in the night. Yeah, for me, it ended around 11:30, and then you wind up your day and you catch up sleep. Hope you hear me now. Hope you hear me now. Yeah, I don't know why. For a few seconds, Zoom frozen. Okay, I'm sorry about what happened. Not sure what happened. Zoom frozen for a few seconds. Okay, thanks a lot for holding on. Let's move. Here we go. Quickly, we'll start things. As you see the screen, you may see set of things in the screen. You may see a pie chart. You may see list of items. PMI-ACP is one of the best certificate in the market who talks about Agile very deep and very well. I would tell this certificate is undermined in the industry. People are rushing behind CSM certificate. I too hold a CSM. I do value the CSM, but CSM is yet to catch up because it is only at the Scrum level. Okay, they can't do more than that. But if you learn ACP, these guys are covering like anything. They'll talk about Scrum, they talk about Kanban, they talk about Crystal, Lean methodology, and even they bring up how to scale the Agile. Lot factors are, they'll be surprised when you read the books. Oh my God, it covers everything of Agile. In top of that, the exam is pretty tough. So it means you have to read well. Right? That's really interesting. I recommend people who are pretty new to Agile, I just ask them to start with the ACP itself. There are 3 levels of certificates in the market now. If you see, we have CSM. Right. Just a minute. Okay. Okay, me a minute. I'm getting in the pen. Okay. Okay, for some reason, my pen is making some trouble today. Let me set it up. Okay, let me start quickly as the pen has some trouble. So now we have certificates like a CSM. CSM talks about Certified Scrum Master, which talks of one of the methodology under Agile, which is pure coverage of Scrum, pretty good. But at the same time, when you want to learn whole as Agile, what they do, we have to go with a certificate which covers more broader. So the recommendation is, I would tell ACP is one certificate which covers much broader. Also, now we have another certificate in the market which is called as a Scaled Agile. The Scaled Agile is something broader, which covers how do you scale up with multiple teams, which is focusing towards a common goal. So in the market, people who are pretty new to Agile are going to either CSM certified or ACP certified. So you can learn CSM, ACP, you can learn Scaled Agile. 3 things are happening in the market. Shriram, what about Disciplined Agile? Disciplined Agile is good, but I'll tell it time to pick up. It has time because it is now getting to a shape. It take a little time to my feel because the PMI is acquired to Disciplined Agile. It should take a little time to settle down. So until then, ACP and Scaled Agile will do better in the market. Right. So in the pie chart, you can see 7 segments here. These are nothing but 7 domains, which is part of this exam content. And when you say 7 domains, it's nothing but chapters which covers a different area of Agile, including what is Scrum, what is Lean, what is Kanban, what is Crystal. It'll explain those factors. Along with that, it'll explain how to deliver value as early as possible. The book also talks about 4 manifesto and 12 principles of Agile, which is a basement of Agile, right? On top of that, it talks about the estimation techniques. I hope you all remember or know about poker card, right? The Fibonacci sequence and relative sizing. Those are all going to be part of this discussion. When you complete this course, you may be from Agile or non-Agile industry, but you will learn what is actually an Agile is, how to utilize it in your day-to-day life. You will understand those factors. One side you get a certificate, other side you get an idea of what is Agile. Whether you like it or not, going forward, the future is going to be most of hybrid model. So, Sriram, what is hybrid model? Hybrid is a mix of both the predictive nature and adaptive nature. So some portion of your project is going to be agile at any chance. So you should possess the knowledge of what is it all about, how to utilize it, right? So the classes are divided like this. You will go by 7 units to be learned or domains to be learned. I will take each domain and give sessions. In the session, we'll have some workshop. You would be given with a small project where you work as a team to do certain action items so that you get hands-on what you learn, right? On top of that, you will get assignments. Yeah, we have a habit of putting assignments. That's going to help you to learn the concepts. Great, great. Let's move a little more. I don't know, Zoom is slightly behaving different today. Don't know why. Let me move forward. Okay, here is the PMI.org. Sunil Prashad is the CEO of PMI Institute, who is from Indian origin. And Institute is there from 1969. They keep hosting a lot of certificates. One of the toppest is the PMP. Even today, PMP is something pretty crazy high to reach. Anybody here with the PMP certificate already with you? Do you have somebody with PMP certificate? Okay, there are people around. Okay, there are some people around. Hey, good, congrats. Getting PMP is always a big milestone. I'm sure you would have been cherished and enjoyed that timeline when you got it, right? It's interesting getting PMPs. Now, PMP is becoming more tougher and more interesting because they added Agile into PMP. So far, the world has seen Agile from the one angle of the industry, where they straight away ask some questions about Agile. You know the PMI standard. PMI will start asking scenario-based questions. What is scenario? They put a situation. Now, putting a situation is really easy to answer if you read the subject well. If you couldn't read the subject well, situation gets tougher. That's a problem. But again, what you see here is a list of certificates from PMI Institute, in which one of that is PMI-ACP, which we are going to learn through. Shriram, is this the only certificate? Do they have more? Yes, do they have more? A little more are there, but primarily these are the certificates happening. PMI don't mess up with too many certificates. They're very clear on it. I have seen few institutes, they keep hosting certificate like anything, but PMI take one certificate, tune it properly. They go to the depth, make sure it has all the ingredients to make a person to be well qualified. That's how they do. So that's a specialty of PMI, the Project Management Institute. Okay, what we do from ShriLearning as an institute, we take classes for PMP, PMI, ACP, and Scaled Agile. We also support CSM, right? Certified Scrum Master. And that's how it is. Now I feel these 3 certificates are becoming interchangeably used and people are liking it, specifically Scaled Agile. It's picking up in the market. Okay, out of that, we're going to touch with ACP, Agile Certified Practitioner, which you are here for. How do the certificate look like, Shriram? By the way, only yesterday I downloaded my certificate because I was having my old certificate, which expires by 2020. So I renewed it. Shriram, how to renew it? You have to gather something called PDU. What is PDU? Professional Development Unit. Once you gather that, you get the eligibility to use your certificate for another 3 more years. So if 3 years is done, you have to renew. No rewriting of examination. That's a good news, right? So that's a good news that you know to rewrite. Okay, this area, if you watch out. Right. So there's a number given here. This is the PMI number, which will be in your resume to show that you are certified. And 3 years once you keep renewing. There is some minimal fee which you have to pay to the institute when you renew it. I may not remember well, but should be $60 or $100 which you have to pay. Right, that is one thing which we do every 3 years. Pretty good. Anybody has a question on the certificate side? before I go to the exam things, a little more explanation. Okay, let me put a little volume high. Okay, great. I assume you are good. Let's move a little more. Here we go. Eligibility. Quickly see some eligibility factors before you go to the subject. So eligibility factor, you will have 1 year of general project experience, 8 months of agile experience. So how to do this, Sriram? Don't worry, I will guide you on the application processing. You may not worry about this. It's taken care by us. Okay. Only thing I want you is please stay close with us when you go to the examination. I will guide you how to fill the application form. So 1.8 years is sufficient for a person to go for ACP. It's not so heavy like PMP. But Shriram, I'm already a PMP certified person. What's the benefit here? Yep, if you are already PMP certified person, you have to show only 8 months of your experience. So the 1 year of experience is not expected. It is because you have already shown your PMP exam that you are 3 years having a knowledge of project management. So they don't want you to show that again. That's the best thing. In an application, you will fill only for 8 months your agile experience. Right? That's how it happens. You can see some fee structure here. Okay, there is something member, non-member. I believe most of you know that. If you don't know that, if you become a member, you have to pay some $139 when you become a member. What's the benefit of becoming a member, Shriram? When you become a member, you get the benefit of learning a lot of courses, participate in some events, download certain books to your local drive. This all can be done. Also, you have something called chapters. You can participate in that as a live session, or it could be online, webinar, lot benefits are there. There are people so much involved into these PMI activities. They get so attached. There are people like that. It depends how much of time you have, how much of energy you have, you can utilize. But membership is 1 year valid. Oh man, I'm paying $139, only 1 year. Can't they give me lifetime? No, you have to pay every year. Here we go. Maybe here some clarity I will give you. Exam is 120 questions, multiple choice exam, right? Answers can be A, B, C, D. We'll choose one answer out of that. So out of which 20 questions are called pre-test questions. What is pre-test questions? These questions are used for statistical purpose of PMI to analyze how the exam is happening. Any data will help them to set the next question papers. So 120 questions you have to answer. With your knowledge, they're using 20 questions for their survey and statistics purpose. Okay. Now, 120 questions will go for 3 hours of examination. No break in the examination. It means you don't get a break. You have to continuously do this exam. You can take this exam over online with your laptop at your home. It's called proctor-based exam, where there'll be a camera. Through the camera, the proctor will keep watching you, invigilator, one-on-one with you, right? And Shriram, can I see the proctor? No, you cannot see them. Only they can see you. They will chat with you. They won't talk. They will chat with you in the exam. No, I don't like proctor exam. Then go to center-based exam. Both has the same fee structure. There is no fee difference between online or center-based. Both are same. A question paper is same. Question paper is also same. It's a random shuffling of question paper, so it will be same. Fee structure, this is what it is, member and non-member. I feel there's a big amount of difference. But again, membership fees automatically goes higher. Whatever it is, the market has a value for any certificate. PMI certificate has its own value, and the money also slightly higher. Comparing other certificates in the market, I will respect PMI's price tag. There are some dumb certificates they call as a super certificate. The cost is pretty high. I feel why they charge this much. Content won't be there. Exam is you copy paste the question, the Google will get the answer. For that exam, they'll charge huge money. whereas PMI has a highest standard where you cannot copy paste the question. Exams are strictly maintained. It makes sure only fittest survive in the exam. That's the reason PMI is value. I'll tell the money what they charge is 100% worth it. That's how it is. Anyway, no comparison, no degrading other people. Let's move. Prerequisite, some degree you will have, or you may have a school diploma with you. 21 contact hours. This is where the classes are happening now. Once the session gets over, you will get a certificate from ShriLearning, which will help you to get a 21 contact hours towards your examination. Okay. Pretty good. Retake the exam. This is a fee structure. I don't usually talk about retake. For me, it's all one chart. One take, exam is over. That's it. With us, we don't prefer a retake. If anybody want a retake, just an answer for you. Any questions here on the examination? I can help you. Any questions on the examination, which can guide you a little more? Are you comfortable with the exam details? Okay, assume you're good. Let's go a little more. Yep. Okay, let's get into 7 domains. 7 domains of Agile certified, PMP certified, ACP certified. So now, if you're a PMP or if you're going for ACP, both are getting into Agile. But the difference here is, here it's going to be 100% Agile. When you say 100%, it goes so deep inside, explaining all the concepts segment by segment. If you go to PMP examination, Agile is still at the little higher level, not to get down. Maybe in future they get down, but for now it's pretty high level. That's where they stop. So what are things to learn is, first thing, we're going to touch base with the Agile principles and mindset. You can see 16% here. This is nothing but 16% of exam questions can appear from this area, right? The second one is the value-driven delivery. These are kind of a big chapters in the book, which can going to take at least 2 weeks of timeline for us to cover. And then rest all will be bit smaller chapters to cover up, right? So interesting chapter for the examination, if anybody in PMP, is the first chapter, second chapter, and there is something called fifth chapter. These chapters are primarily covered in most of the exams. If in ACP, they'll spread across, there'll be a lot of questions. Primarily in ACP exam, this chapter will have more interesting questions because it has the principles, it has a manifesto, it has something on certain value delivery model is being explained. Let me go a little more. Books to read. Books to read. Can someone tell me how many books you see here? How many books you see here? 5, 6, 10, 12 books. Oh man. Pretty high, isn't it? Do you feel a lot of books in it? A lot of books there? Because I remember when I'm learning Scrum certification, they gave one 15 pages PDF. Okay, that is pretty enough for the exam. But with the ACP, it won't be 15 pages. It's going to be a little more content. The reason is they want to go a bit broader. So 12 books. How many of you are aware of this book? Agile Practice Guide. Have you heard about this book? Have you heard about this book, which is published by PMI? Have you heard about it? Good. Ruchi says yes, I heard about it. Okay, if somebody has not heard about this book, it is part of your PMBOK 6th edition. If you go to PMBOK 6th edition, last 200 pages will be this book. If not, it is also available as an individual PDF in the market with 160 or 180 pages approximately. That's how the pages are. A small book. Can I buy this book, Shira? Yes, it's available in Amazon also. I would recommend anybody coming new to Agile, please read this book. Very simple explanation of only 6 chapters, small chapters. We like a easy book, right? It's a very easy book to learn what is Agile all about, what is Scrum, what is Kanban, what is the difference between Agile and predictive model. They even give some case study there, how the cases work. They even talk about how hybrid works here. Many books try to explain with a lot of confusion. These guys explained really well. I really love these guys for explaining well. Who? PMI Institute. When they write a book, they write well-defined book. So in this book, they have explained even how a hybrid, predictive, adaptive, how it works. If a project starts with agile nature and has little predictive, how it will be. A project starts with the predictive nature with agile coming inside, how it will be. Or purely agile, how it will be. They're explaining it all with small case studies are there. So I'll ask you to please read this book to start with. No, Shira, straight away tell me which is for exam. Huh? I don't want to waste my time here. Tell me exam, I'll write and clear it. That's it. If you ask me, I'll tell one book. That book is not in this list. Do anybody know which book is that? A good book for straight away to the exam. Anybody know that? There's a one guy. You can catch him in the LinkedIn also. He has written a wonderful book. People liked it. Really good book. Mike Griffith book. Have you heard about Mike Griffith? Okay. It's a book from Mike Griffith, and this person written an amazing book. And here it is, the green color one. What do you see here? Okay, this book. It's a directly to the exam. Okay, because we love directly to the exam, right? I don't want to beat the pushback. Come on, tell me. If you ask me, go for Mike Griffith book, a wonderful book, and this book has 7 domains properly explained. Each domain has some question and answer. Ideally, we want to know that, right? We want to know how the exam question look like. So don't compare exam question. Exam question is a different level, but here the questions will explain you to understand the concepts. So 7 chapters well explained with a non-English language. Certain areas, Mike Griffith will tell this is important for exam. Certain area he himself tell that this is not important for exam. Learning is good for you. So you'll give tips in between the exam. It's something like somebody talking to you. When you read the book, you'll feel like somebody talking to you. That's the way he written the book. I like this person for this book. I have given credit to him many times on LinkedIn. He's a good guy. Okay. So read this book. Read this book. More than enough for the exam and also your real life implementation. So then, Shriram, what is this? Head first is one concept. Head first is a concept. They write the book in a different way with the pictures. The explanation concept will be slightly different. Well, easy for some people. Head first is pretty good in PMP. They written a book for PMP. Okay, fantastic book. People love it. In Agile also they written a book. It is not so hit. It's okay. If anybody want to get some concepts, I'll go and use it. These are the 3 books generally available in the market. These all are available in Amazon to buy. These are available as a PDF also in the market. It's up to you. Right? Good. So Shriram, do I need to read all the books? My recommendation is please touch these 2 books. That's enough. But if you want to read more, yes, please go to this book also. But I'll keep this optional. At first, keep it optional. Are we clear with the books? Did you got an idea? Can I move forward? You got an idea about the books? Ashok asking where to get questions from. Ashok, are you looking for chapter-oriented questions or you're looking for exam-oriented questions? Either. Okay. Okay, you are trying to be in the very center line. Okay, Ashok. So chapter question, I think I gave you a clue. In ACP books of Mike Griffith, every chapter has a question that will help you. Apart from that, ShriLearning will give exam mock questions. 3 practice exams you will get from us, which is going to be 120 each questions that you will write. But when you will write this, when you start the classes and reading with us, you will complete this book properly. Every book, every chapter has a chapter test. You have to take the chapter test, share the scores with us of the 7 chapter. Imagine you're getting more than 60% in this chapter test. It's something good. You are ready to go for a full exam. Then you will get access to full exam where you can start writing them. Why not Shriram before that? Doesn't make any sense if you don't read this book properly and try to take a full exam. There the scores will start dropping down. So this is a way we guide you to go to the next level. Hope Ashok that helps you. Okay, let's go a little more. Certifications, application processing. Application processing, as I said earlier, don't worry much about it. Your application is taken care. Who take care? I will take care. So how to fill Agile related content for the application? I will guide you, right? So don't worry about it. We'll discuss about your experience. Based on that, we'll work out on application process. So that's taken care. Little about me. So myself, Sriram Kumar, I'm going to be your coach for your Agile certification and help you towards your examination. And sometimes I do counseling on making them to understand how to set up your career. I'm from this industry, I want to go to another industry, or in my industry, I want to come to next level. I spend some time to do counseling for them. So what all I have with me? I have certificates like I hold certain degrees with me, and I hold certain certificates with me. Doesn't mean that I know everything. These all I learned some time back. I do remember certain things really I don't remember. So only when things come, I open the book and read. But only thing I have a confidence I have read some time back. Okay. When you see somebody holding all this degree, doesn't mean they remember everything. Some confidence we get, we know things. So I'm spending time in the corporate. I should be around 19 years in the industry, and I'm working in different corporates. I worked in top corporates, Fortune 12 company, Fortune 20 company, all done for a while. So still going on. I'm working as a delivery manager, doing a lot of stuff with project management, both predictive and adaptive. Well, good. So now it's going to be time to listen to you. Let's do that. So what we'll do is just we'll say hi to each other and we'll understand what's happening. Since we took nearly an hour of time, I believe some of you are ready now. So if you're comfortable, you can put your cam on so that we will say hi to each other. And then once all done, you can switch off your cam, right? Sure, I'm not ready, man. Just got up, had to comb my hair. That's okay. Okay, just say hi to each other for a minute and then we'll get off, right? If you don't want to put in the cam, that's okay. Okay, who would want to be there? Let me see people around. Let's listen to people. Nitin is here. Very good. Great. Okay. Great. Good to see. Good to see. Good to see most of you. Okay, we'll quickly listen to people each other. Okay, I just give a little basic about me, and I come with the industry experience. I come with this stuff. That doesn't mean that you should also talk the same format. You can just give an intro of where you're from, what do you do, and what pushed you towards Agile. Okay, let's learn that. And Ruchi gave a man, there is a deadline for me. If you don't complete, we'll arrest you. That's what the US government had said. I think FBI is behind you.
Not SBI, FDA.
FBI, yeah. Okay, maybe Ruchi, you can kickstart. We will listen to you.
Okay, so hi everyone. My name is Ruchi. I'll be looking at this side because I can see you guys on the other monitor. I'm working as a project manager for past couple of years, and for my job, I need to have PMP and PMP ACP. So I'm with Shriram, I think like almost like for since December. So this is my second time attending the ACP classes, and hopefully I'm going to finish it in April. So I'm like fully charged to do it now. So that like by profession, I'm an engineer, and I work in IT industry. So we develop software for various clients actually. So that's all about me.
Fantastic. Great to know. Good to know. Good to know. So, Ruchi, how you manage both certificate at the time? You're reading both, two books, one eye, other book, other eye, this book. That's how you do.
I know, like, look at that. Like, I keep my ACP book like this, and whenever I'm getting time from work, I turn myself, like, read one page, and that's how I'm like, I don't know how am I doing, but I'm doing it. And I'm taking, like, PMP classes with you again. Like, that's in the morning. So after 2 a.m., when I finish with this, like, 7 a.m., I have another class. So that keeps me motivated. That's the only thing, I have to study on my own, that I'm doing during daytime whenever I'm getting time. But attending classes gives me that competitive spirit that since other people can do it, I can do it too. So it's very motivating. And
Okay.
yeah.
So tomorrow morning you're coming for PMP classes.
Yes.
God's sake, see the energy.
I'll
By
be
the
there.
way, when I say tomorrow morning, India time, evening, I'll start the PMP classes. See, she's back to back like a drug addict. She's doing. Okay.
I'm going to take it, and like as soon as I'm done with ACP, safe agile.
Okay.
Yeah. So next day, safe agile.
Good, good, good. By the way, Richie, how do you feel in the US market? Do they really have this value for this PMP or ACP? Are they seeing that in their day-to-day life?
So I'm on the East Coast, and especially I'm in Washington, D.C. area. So this area is full of federal agencies, and PMP is a prerequisite for any job application if you apply for a project manager position. And there are like various contracts which come out as RFQs, and it is mandatory to have like a number of people, like even for pre-qualification for any company to bid on any project, they need like certain number of PMP certified professionals in your team. So in my area, it is like bread and butter.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
That's how it
Okay.
is. And lately I'm seeing like a couple of my friends who work for like Apples and Google and my Facebook and all those, they PMP is respected all over the place, honestly. So it's a well recognized certificate. And when I'm reading, I can see like how can you make your project better. It's not the certification, but the tools and the techniques and the skill set what you are getting. It's a win-win. Anyways.
Got you. Makes sense.
So
Okay.
you're pretty good, actually. Yeah.
Okay. Got it. Thanks, Vijay. That was a good intro from you. Right. Let's go. Who want to jump on? Say, hey, I'm this. Anybody want to talk about it?
Hello, everyone.
Shankar is here. Hey, Shankar, please go ahead.
Hi, good morning, everyone. I'm Shankar and I'm from Qatar at the moment. Well, it's 5:45 here, so it makes me to recollect all my old memories when I was studying my 10th or 12th standard tuition classes and all. Basically, I'm a project management professional. I'm working for Hamad International Airport as an operations manager, taking care of operational projects.
Okay.
So project management is not only my professional, but also my passion. So, so that's how I'm connected. Recently, I completed my PMP. It was a long, and very tough story. I don't want to talk here.
Yeah, I can sense it, how tough it is.
That's a quarantine effect. Apart from that, I should say I'm basically a bachelor's in engineering, electronics and communication, and later on MBA from project management. And recently, I think 6 months back, I'm connected with the DBA, doctorate as well. And that's going on in one line, and another side of PMP I completed, and now I wanted to connect with Agile because that's the latest trend as far as I'm concerned. And one quick question to Sriram. So why ACP is called PMI-ACP, the credential, whereas PMP, it's not calling so?
That's a good question, right? PMP, they made it as a brand years back. Okay, the brand is created like a BMW, it's got created. Now, ACP came at least a few years back, and it was not that big brand. They want to have the prefix of PMI to tell that it's a brand of PMI. Okay, it's purely branding. I feel purely branding. For PMP, you don't need to tell which institute and all. Just tell PMP. Everyone will turn back and see, man, that guy's a PMP guy, right? It's like a BMW kind of brand. It's a branding, purely branding nature. But I don't like to see PMI PMP. I like to see only PMP.
Yeah, exactly. And also I was thinking there should be a duplication of examinations with ACP, some other things. That's why they want to put PMI in front to avoid the confusion. I thought maybe you're the right person to clarify.
Nobody can duplicate these guys. They'll thrash you if you try to duplicate. It's a $1 billion company and they have all the legal rights. They made everything legalized here. In US, PMI is a big base. And if you try to slightly play with them, you disappear.
I'm connected with the PMI since 2011. So it's my 10th year anniversary of my membership with,
Wow. So you are the one making them richer. Okay, I understand.
Oh, somehow.
But I think it's a very good institute, right? You have a lot of good like-minded people there where you can connect with them.
Yeah, I have a T-shirt with a quote of PMI, do it with standards. I really like the quote. When it comes to PMI, everything, it's do it with standards.
Now I see how much you're passionate you are. By the way, when you say MBA in project management, which institution in India or abroad, where you did it?
Yeah, it's from India only. It's Mahatma Gandhi, Meghalaya.
Fantastic. Good. I think that you've chosen a best course there. MBA in project management is a good course because people fly to a different country to take classes. Usually people go to Australia or to US to do that. I prefer in India too. We have great courses happening. Project management is everywhere same. It doesn't mean it depends on who teach you, right? That's important. That's good. Great, good to know, Shankar. But whatever you said, you have a lot of activities. In between, you have time to sleep, eat. You do those activities also.
Well, it's as I said, when it comes to your passion, of course, it's easier. I don't know how many people believe it. It took almost 6 years for me to complete PMP. Even though I'm sorry, but anyway, I should accept their real story because I'm not, consistent, I would say. So when I was really good to go, by the time PMI will change the edition. I started with 4th edition, now, 6th edition. Thankfully, before it comes to 7th, I completed. Maybe, before the ACP is going to change the edition, I should complete it. That's my goal for 2021.
Shankar, I'm going to beat you at that. Like in my master's, I had this project management class, and since then, in 2012, I wanted to do PMP since then. So finally, it is going to happen this year.
Well, that's the spirit, right? That's the spirit. We are still connected. It's not about how many times we lose. We are again and again, getting back like a phoenix. That's what all we need.
Perfect. Good to know that. I appreciate the honesty. You want to openly tell that I tried for long. Some people don't agree for it. Okay, thanks, Shankar, for being open.
I'm a big example how not to prepare the way PMP has to be. So I'm like in the bad side of an example, but I should accept.
Good. The example is really good. I appreciate it. Super, Shankar. Great. First of all, thanks for waking up early. And your family should not doubt you. You wake up early and watch some Netflix movies. Okay.
Oh no, they are the one helped me to wake me up. It's weekend, by the way, in Qatar. Friday and Saturday is a weekend. So
okay. Got it.
Thank you.
Good to know. Thanks, Shankar. Who else want to go? Anybody else? Somebody's ready. Okay. Yes, Arun, please.
Yeah, hi everyone. I'm working in my current organization as a project manager. So, but like I've been started my project management career as 10 years back as a project coordinator, and then worked along and came up till project manager. Looking for a promotion soon, so that's why the PMI and PMP.
Okay.
PMP, I just.
Is it in your, quarterly or review that you have to complete, or you took your initiative?
No, it's my decision. Like it's time to move on. Like get an upgrade.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, something similar to Shankar's story. Like I started my PMP in like somewhere around 2016, completed in 2020. just before 5 days before they changed the subject.
Oh. Okay. So
So
that's a push, right? I think
yeah.
many people push by December, telling that somehow will close this exam.
Yeah, and that time also, like, I attended ShriRam's classes, so that's how I went with it. Thanks for that. And then, yeah, this is something I wanted to do because I work in an IT industry. So that's where we need Agile. Everybody wants to do projects in Agile, but no one cares how it has to be done.
That's true, right? Everybody want the food, but nobody want to go to kitchen.
That's it. Yeah.
That's a problem. Okay, good, Arun. I'll appreciate it. Thanks a lot. Anybody want to go?
Hi, my name is Nitin. I'm having around 14 years of experience in IT industry, and I did my PMP with ShriRam. Actually, I completed the certification in last December, and because I work in IT industry, I thought let's go with this Agile also, and
Okay.
and I want to add, like Shankar asked a question, right? Why PMI-ACP? You know, the ACP, take it as a joke. You know, there is a ACP means Assistant Commissioner of Police. If we write this you can write, like, I mean, we can give the name like, okay, Nitin PMP or anything. Okay, so everybody from the industry at least might understand, okay, this is project management professional. So if we add, like, okay, Nitin ACP, okay, sometimes people can misunderstand. Like, okay,
ACP is only for India, right? Assistant Commissioner of Police. I don't see that in other countries.
no problem. Still, I'm just.
Okay. Okay, got it, Nitin. Good to see. Thanks, Nitin. Nitin, is sunshine behind you? Is it that early sun?
Yeah, sunshine.
Okay, good to see a bright light at your place. Super, Nitin. Thanks a lot. Anybody else want to go on?
Yeah, Shriram, I'm Zeru here. I'll go next.
Hey, Hero. Yes, please.
Hi, I'm a project manager. I was working as a technical consultant and moved in as a project manager sometime mid last year. And after that, like, I got a role as project manager. And after that, there was like pressure from the management to get the PMP done. So I was in real pressure, and trust me, I completed that in 2 months. I started reading in November because somehow I want to get that completed by December. So I was also in that crowd to get that completed in December.
2 months is
And
pretty
when I was,
short.
yeah, it was very short, and the reason is I was already I was performing as a project manager. And even as a technical role also, I was doing a bit of projects management, but I was not given the role. So when it is like when my management has trusted me with that role, I wanted to like give it back to them more than their thing. So that made me to do that certification in 2 months. And while I was reading it, this agile concept really interested me. We have this agile portion also in PMBOK 6. So that dragged me into my this PM ACP certification, and I have some of my other projects lined up in agile as well. So I wanted to really do this certification and learn more from it.
Thanks, Sarah, for doing that. But by the way, which country you are?
I'm in India. I'm from Tamil Nadu.
Oh, very good. Good to know. Good to know. Because cracking 2 months is not easy. I think you excused yourself, or maybe the language goes well faster for you in the exam, because it takes time for people to digest and go for the exam. So I really appreciate the speed you what you have. Really great, really great. And again, good to know that you're performing project manager role already, which is making you to learn faster. Well,
Yeah.
good, great. Right. Anybody want to go?
Hi everyone, Kriti here. Hi Shriram. Yeah, So starting about myself, I'm working as a Scrum Master in Akamai Technologies. I started my career in Wipro. I worked about 4 years there. And after that, I did my CSM certification there. So after 2 years only, I started working as a Scrum Master. Like I was working as a developer also in the team. So my manager actually asked me to do that role. Then I got really interested while I was performing that role. So I did the certification, and recently last September, I switched my company. So yeah, so for about 6 months now, I'm working as a Scrum Master in Akamai Technologies. And yeah, the role is a bit challenging also sometimes, because I think that my experience is a bit less as compared to like all the Scrum Masters which are working with me in the organization. So yeah, so trying to keep myself updated now. I recently also did SAFe certification, and I heard a lot about your trainings from my colleagues, so they recommended me to join this. Yeah, so yeah, now going forward for PMI-ACP.
Good. Thanks to your colleagues for trusting, and thanks you are trusting them. Okay. Now coming back, how many years overall experience?
Overall experience, to be precise, is 4.8 years.
Pretty good, yeah. 4.8, you're becoming a Scrum Master is a good deal. Yeah. Good deal. Good deal you cracked with the company. Okay. Okay. Now tell me, when you are a Scrum Master, when you call these guys for the meeting, are they coming on time?
Yeah, actually, initially I was facing it as a challenge. I'm the junior most in the team, and people whom I'm taking meeting with, they are 12 years experience, 15 years experience, and some people sit in US. So, but actually, I'm very comfortable now. Initially, I thought it will be a challenge, but actually, people are listening. Initially, some challenges were there, but now things are stable. Actually, yeah.
Right. That is there still in the industry, even though we call as experience doesn't count. Some people look at it. Okay, there is a little girl calling. Do we need to really respect? Right? They don't come to stand up. Some ignore the stand-up meetings.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a problem. And retrospective, some people won't even open the mouth. Okay, they'll just keep quiet. That too, now everything is virtual. We don't know whether this guy is there, available, or playing with us. We don't know.
That's what. Yeah, but yeah, I'm making sure I'm interacting properly, and yeah, but that's what we have to do now. Till December, it's work from home for me. So yeah.
I do have a girl who is running a Scrum Master team in our group. I keep telling her, be so assertive, because she's so soft spoken. She'll ask, "Can you please?" I said, "Don't do that. Call the name. Can you press it now?" So you have to go strong. 2-3 times you do. 4th time, these guys will start listening. Sometimes people need that.
That is required. Yeah.
Not always. Sometimes. Because once the rhythm of it will go well. Master role is not an easy role. It's getting tougher day by day because of this experience gap. Okay, great. Thanks, Kriti, for that. And who else?
Shriram. Sorry,
go ahead. Go ahead, please.
No, it's okay. You can go ahead. I'll talk after you. It's okay.
Hi, Shriram, everybody. This is Ram here. I work in Cognizant Technology Solutions as a delivery manager, handling multiple teams. I come with an overall experience of 15 years. And I've attended PMP training from Shriram long time ago. It's just that I wasn't ready for the exams, and this was when Shriram was in a different institute before.
Oh, okay.
So I wasn't prepared for PMP then. Probably I did not take it seriously. So PMP is still on my radar. And what changed my mind is now that it's got Agile into it, that's something I wanted to look into, because I do this on a day-to-day basis, but I realized that a certification does carry a lot of value and a structured approach, which probably I should use.
Perfect. Good. How many years back you were in my classes?
2 years back.
2 years back. Okay.
So
2 years changed my life also. Okay. Great.
So I realized this because last year I went to the US for a transition, and that was just pre-COVID. And I was stuck over there for close to 6 months because of lack of flights and transit options. So we did the entire project, hiring, transition, go live, stabilization, steady state, everything in those 6 months when I was there. Everybody was remote. So that's when I realized that if I had those principles, it would have made work a lot more structured and a lot more easier.
Got you. Got you. Makes sense. Okay, thanks, Ramanujan. Fantastic.
Thank you.
Great. Manjula, would you like to go?
Hey, hi, Sriram. Hello, everyone. This is Manjula, and I have an overall experience of 6 years. And right from the start, I was fortunate enough to start my career as an associate project manager with EMC Square, which is now Dell EMC. So I'm currently working as a project manager with Dell EMC. And in November last year, I completed my PMP. I actually gave a deadline to myself that I would want to go ahead and complete my PMP certification in like 2 months. So I think it is similar to what Zaru said, that even I finished it like in 2 months, and I literally felt like it was a big milestone accomplished. I was really happy about it. And I think I have in the past, I have done my CSM and CAPM. So I would like to keep updating myself with the technology. And that is why, I'm very keen in learning Agile, because I keep hearing in every industry, it is just evolving. And I think I really want to get that added in my resume. And also not just in my resume, I also want to get an understanding of how Agile works. So not just a certification. Yeah.
Good. Happy to see that people are starting exploring in managerial world, because in India, years back, managers are pretty less. Mostly it has been driven by onshore. When I say onshore, the country where the projects are originating. Now I'm seeing so prominent youngsters coming up with a managerial mindset, and they're doing a good job. Manjula, when she says she started as a manager, I remember I chatted with you in the LinkedIn or sometime.
Yeah.
How do you start as a manager in the beginning itself? So, because for some it takes 10 to come to that level. So
that is true. In fact, many of my seniors, who were like 10 to 15 years experienced, they were wondering how these college graduates are just coming up as project managers, and they really didn't like, and they were very suspicious if they will be able to justify the role. But I think, we did a pretty good job. We were able to manage, and we were able to take the customer in confidence that we are not new. So we used to have that confidence while talking to the customer. So yeah, it was a good experience.
That's good. That's why I say that the millennial kids are really good these days because of their intellectual ability. Good. Happy to know. Thanks for that. And anybody else want to go on? Yes, Mr. Ashok.
Hi, good morning. My name is Ashok.
Yes,
and
Mr.
I'm
Ashok.
an SAP consultant. Sorry, I'm eating something.
No problem.
Yes, I'm also a PMP certified, and so PMI-ACP is probably the next logical step most people do, and I think we'll have a great time and learning good stuff in Agile. So thanks for that.
Great. So when this PMP happened for you?
Almost 4 or 5 years, 5 years back.
Oh, good. So you should done in 5th edition.
5th edition.
Okay, that's great. Good to know. Thanks, Mr. Ashok. That's good. Anybody else want to go? Maybe Srinivas is here. Hey, Srinivas. Did we spoke with Srinivas? Maybe Srinivas, you're in mute mode?
Yeah, Shriram, able to hear me?
Yes, we got you now.
Yeah, hello everyone. I'm Srinivas and having 14 years of experience in IT industry. And I do have a couple of certification like PMP, CSM. But really, Shriram, don't want to go for a certification of PMI-ACP. But my goal is to do a safe certification. But what I felt is this is one of the milestone to reach that goal. And I'm here to not to get the certification, but to learn the concepts.
Nice. Good to know. Thanks, Srinivas. I know this is it's becoming like every year we have to gather at least one learning certificate. This is a target I kept some years back. Every year, allocate some portion of money, allocate such a portion of time so that you keep upscaling. This I didn't realize when I joined my corporate life. I'm feeling a little jealous of Kriti, Manjula, how they are starting at the younger age, started learning things and growing up. Look at when they come to the older person like me, they become a little great, right? So see, for me, it started very late in the life. I understood, oh my goodness, every year we have to learn. We thought college life is enough. That degree will survive us. Then later realized college degree is okay, just for initial push. After that, only you have to start reading. I realized little later in life. But now I feel that when I see all of you talking about I have multiple certificates, I'm still reading. It's a little impressive and encourage me also start reading more. Because with the current trend in the market, the subject things are upgrading and changing much faster. If you still stay with the whole old knowledge, we may be there, we'll survive. Bread and butter will be there. I'm not saying no. But if you really want to outshine, I think we needed to spend time every year. That's how it is. Okay, thanks all for coming up here. Let's put the cam and mic off mode. I will spend next 10 minutes, then we'll go for a break. Usually after 1.5 hours, we go for a break. So can somebody confirm you're seeing the slides? You're able to see the slides? Okay, hope you're getting it. Great. Good. Thanks a lot. Thanks for all this introduction. Good to see you all. And we will connect again as a team for a project. And we'll do a small project as a team. We'll split into 2 teams where we'll work individually to talk about how to do an agile project. There we'll connect again with a cam and mic. Now we'll start progressing in the sense of I'll get into the first chapter. I'll talk for 10 minutes, then we'll go for a break where we'll take a 10-15 minutes break. Okay, coming back. Agile principles and mindsets. This will be the first segment of our learning. And this going to be, if you see the right side, the pie chart is having the details of 7 domains. In this, what you're going to see now is a 16% exam question coverage, which is of domain 1, principles and mindset. A lot of content here, and this is primarily going to explain as the 4 manifesto and 12 principles of Agile. Some history about where the Agile came from, and we will see some factors about the Scrum, Kanban, Lean, XP, right? These are things very important. At present in the industry, these are the top rated Agile methodologies. If you say Scrum is a top rated, next highly discussed is Kanban, and also we talk about XP, extreme programming. Along top of that, Lean will be there. Lean is from the manufacturing industry. Years back it came inside. So we learn these factors. How much exam questions will come Shriram? If you ask me, 16%. Can somebody tell me 16% means in 120 questions, how many questions can be there? A quick math. How many questions can be there? Maybe 18, 20 questions. Yeah, Rich says 19 questions going to come there. So approximately, let's say 20 questions from this area. But I'll tell you, this is not direct questions. Indirectly, every exam question is based on these 2 things. Every exam question. If you answer every question, it will be some situation given. In this situation, you try to get the essence out of it. The essence is out of this 4 manifesto and 12 principles. Some of you would have seen this before, or some have never seen it. I will give it as a writing assignment. Start doing that as a daily habit for some days. Believe me, this is going to help you all over the chapter. Agile is nothing but there's a 4 manifesto and 12 principles. Based on this only, whole system is written. If you understand this spinal cord, the backbone of the whole system, you'll be so happy to clear the exams very easily. Believe me, it'll happen because I did that's a way. I prepared for my ACP exam maybe 3-4 weeks. And the day before the examination, something happened at home. So I could not be with the preparation. 2 days before the exam, something happened at home. I was in hospital for some care for somebody at family. The previous night, I decided, okay, let me drop the exam. I'm not going for the exam. It was until 1, 2 o'clock I was in hospital. Then the family member said that you come all the way. Just go and try the exam. Even if you fail, that's okay. So I went to the exam hall. Pretty tired. I slept only 2 to 3 hours, but still I went to the exam hall. I didn't read for the last 2 days. I thought I may lose the exam. I went and set the examination. First 4 or 5 questions I don't understand. From 5th question, I thought, okay, every question, let me try to connect with this 4 manifesto 12 principles. What happened is, while I'm preparing for the exam for 4 weeks, I used to write every day 4 values and 12 principles, like a story I'll keep writing every day. This went deep inside me. In the exam hall, whenever I read a question, I'll see what is the relevance with this question with the principle. I'll keep seeing that and answer question. And after 20 questions, I started enjoying answering the exam. My tiredness went out, my fear went out, I started answering it. And I easily cleared the examination. The message here is, what I found in my experience is, These are 4 values and 12 principles are the backbone of the whole Agile system. But that doesn't mean that you should not read other things. You should read other things also. But this is very vital. How many of you are aware that such thing exists in Agile 4 and 12? Anybody here who are aware of it? If you went to Scrum certification, somewhere you would have heard about it. Okay. Some of you should be aware of it. Okay, good. Here is a concept to just understand how much we are aware of these things. What you do is just read through this and tell me what model of project they're trying here. Which method of project management is good for you here? You want to go to Agile model? You want to go with the plan-based or predictive model? What model you want to go for it? Okay, Manjula says predictive, Ruchi says predictive. Okay, what makes you to think this could be predictive? What is the thought driving behind that? What makes us to think that way? Of course, you're right. You're right. Is it operational work? Okay, more than operational, can you think this way? They're saying this kind of work has happened many times. When I say many times, we have some historical information of this model of project. I'm not saying we are doing a copy paste here, but this model of project has been done. In a city, you may have a multiple locations. In one location, they would have made the old pipe changes, and that gives you knowledge to do for the upcoming project work, right? So when you have certain things which you are aware of it, and we are pretty clear this can be planned in advance, I think we can go to say that this can be a little more plan driven or predictive approach because we are aware of things. Now tell me, is it more complex project in the nature of technical, in the nature of requirement? Do you think it's a complex or less complex? Do you think complex or less complex? It's a bit less complex. The technicality may be there. I'm not saying no, because installing the metal pipes in the city is not easy. It's going to be a tough job. But the complexity can be pretty less. I go with the Zero's point here. She's saying that they can take learning from other projects. When you have a learning from other projects, which can add value to your system, which can help you to think, how can I plan it? That's going to help us a plan-driven approach. So you can question me, Shriram, do you think that I can make 100% plan here? No, not like that. Maybe 20, 30%, maybe 50%, maybe 60%. The plan happens. Even though the dam construction is pretty complicated, now it is not complex now. The reason is the world has seen many dams all over the world. When somebody wants to do a dam construction, now they look back the historical record all over the world and try to gather those information, start creating it, right? That's happening. Now let's go to the next stage of project model. Now look at this one. Look at this one. Let know what your brain says. Read through this. Look at the key statement in this. Okay, I'm hearing the words. Manjula says agile, Zero says adaptive, Ruchi says agile method. So what drives you to think agile here now? What makes us to think agile? We are looking for the feedback in the sense of looking back on what can be improved. When you say, the moment you say what can be improved, it means we didn't make a full plan. First thing. Second thing, we have a room for accepting for changes. We have a room for getting new requirements which can flow inside, right? It is a pause. We're keeping some space for that. That's where the feedback is all about, right? Now, Ruchi says we need feedback and implement changes to next features. Fantastic. There are certain projects are naturally it's in complex in nature. We don't want that projects to be too much of planned and get into disaster. I don't want a blast at the end. Rather, what I do is I may go for an implementation either in iterative or incremental way and let people use it, feel it, give some feedback on top of that, and then we'll go for it. And also here, we give the rights to the customer to set the priority. I'm not sure how many of you observed in Agile, we give a customer the more opportunity to set the priority for the next increment what they want. I ask them, hey, what do you want? I'll deliver you. If you go to the hotel, there are days where we order all the food at one shot, and the bearer decides what has to be on your table after 15 minutes. We all wait. I have seen when I'm in school days with my parents, I used to sit at the table and we wait. We give maybe 6 or 7 items. The bearer goes inside, whatever is ready, they will deliver you. You have to wait for it. Now the market has changed. If you go to hotel industry, they take all the order, then ask you, sir, which one you want first? Even if you say ice cream, I want my first, because there's a kid next to me keep crying, they'll get you ice cream. You say, I want this first, that second, they can do that. The hotel industry is adjusting accordingly. I'm not talking all the hotels can do that, but I can, at least at the hotels where I went, I observed it, they request you what you want first. It's happening. So the industry is giving some room for the customers to pitch in to give some feedback, pitch in to set the priority, pitch in to change the requirements as per the demand. Now the question is, Shriram, is it applicable in all the industry? We don't have to debate that here. It's applicable if you want it. If not, it's okay. There is no hard rule here. I see some start fighting in different forums, telling that is it agile good, not good, can I use it? It's purely up to the customer. If your customer requests feedback, if a customer ready to give feedback, if a customer want to set the priority, if your customer want to see some deliverable frequently, we have to go for it. If they say no, I can give all requirements at one shot, don't disturb me. That's fine. I'll go for a plan-driven approach. So there is no hard rule here. But now why people go for Agile? Agile is giving the flexibility. Shriram, what is the word behind flexibility meaning? The meaning behind flexibility is both the party which is asking the customer has a flexibility of changing their thought process over the period of time. They don't need to stick to one target. They can change the target. The team which is doing the work, the performing organization, in the PMI term, we use the word performing organization. The performing organization also has a flexibility of changing the direction to reach the target. Also, getting the approval from the customer then and there. Please observe, then and there you get approval. I don't want to wait end of the project to call something called UAT, user acceptance testing, and there is a big blast, it's not working. Rather, the performing organization has an opportunity we call as fail fast. If somebody observed this terminology in the market, they call us fail fast. Don't fail in the last, fail right away. Fix it, move forward, fix it, move forward. So since both of them have this opportunity, market is preferring it. Is it applicable to a dam construction? No. Is it applicable to bridge construction? No. Is it applicable to a doctor doing a kidney transplant surgery? No. It may be applicable in an industry where there is a necessity for quicker feedback, where there's a quicker deliverables, there is a room for changes. There it is possible, right? A little on that area. Hope it helped you. Right. Thanks for giving those inputs. Let's touch a little bit. Since we started talking about Agile for the last few years, we use these pictures to show the difference between Waterfall and Agile model. But I feel that in a year of time, I want to pull these pictures out. I will even want to recommend some of the institutes, please don't enforce this going forward, because people understood the difference between Waterfall and Agile. We don't need to keep on fighting with that, which is good, which is bad. Actually, there is nothing good and bad. Both has its advantage in both places. I see some arguing that Waterfall is old, not needed. before even we comment on that, we should read the books of methodology of sequential approach. It has a great benefit. Waterfall has a great benefit. In a sense, there are certain projects you need a proper way of definition. You need a proper way of building it, designing it, and then release it. But the problem with that model, traditional model, is the risk was not attended then and there. The risk was carried with the project until it meets the customer end. On the last day, it will blast, oh my God, this is not what I want. But the question is, if you have a proper planning system in place, proper requirement understanding in place, proper risk mitigation strategy in place, this blast will not happen. But the question again goes back, how many managers has that ability? How many customer has the ability to define the requirement properly? So that is where the failure happened. Specifically in the industry like information technology, education industry, medical industry, or some more industries where the things are so much volatile, there they cannot plan it so deeper. So what happened? So that was a time something came up. I'll give some history about Agile and Waterfall in a few minutes. Before that, you can see we see something called a shorter time scale of deliverables. Instead of carrying something heavy with me till the last day, I will do small packets of work. What is this packets of work? I don't want to carry the huge luggage with me. Rather, I take small package and I see, can I carry this? Even if I carry this, will it be satisfiable to my customer at that point of time? Now, Agile opened the door telling that, can we deliver right away something early and faster to the customer, which is usable, consumable? That's where it is. Again, I go back to tell about a bridge construction. A bridge construction needs its whole time of completion, and then only a vehicle can pass through. It may take maybe 2 years or sometimes 3 years. A dam can take 8 years of time. It needs a time of things where you can't use anything in a portion. Whereas what we do about information technology, what we do about education industry, what we do about some other industries where certain things are usable, consumable, even if we give a portion of the project, right? So that's the reason they go for it. Now, something they keep arguing in the market, what's the problem between both the project, both the model? The problem is, not a problem, both of them will tell like this. In a plan-driven approach, if you want to make a change, the change is expensive. Expensive is a two-way. One is, when you make a change in plan-driven approach, it's going to consume the time to do certain work, rework. Also, the scrap cost is high. Why? What is scrap cost? In those days, I'm talking 1950s, 60s, 80s, the construction, if you want to redo, you have to demolish certain thing. You're going to have a cement, steel, metal, or car rework. The cost of that scrap is higher. Also, redoing the work time is higher, right? Now, let's go to the industry where we are. We are working in a knowledge-based industry. In a knowledge-based industry, if you want to redo, technology is supporting you to redo faster. Also, here you don't have anything called a scrap cost. You don't have any cost of that. So if you say the version 1 is not good, park it. Let's do version 1.2. That's a trend we are moving towards. When that's a case, when you have the facility of changing faster with the technology, also the change is not going to burn your pocket. Now, what do? You tend to open the market. We are ready for change. So that is where the trend is going towards. But what we are learning here, Agile, is not today. It is there for so many years back. But the interesting point is, how come those days these guys have thought that we can go in a change-driven approach? That's really surprising in a way of what they thought. Okay, we're nearing to the break time. Meantime, we will see what I have next for you. Okay, quickly we'll see something about waterfall and then we'll go for a break. Waterfall methodology. First of all, there is no term being formed as waterfall. This person, Vincent Royce, I believe some of you should have heard about him. Okay, what he did is in 1970s, he published a paper. Okay, what he did, he actually is a IT guy. For the IT projects, how to do. He proposed a sequential model. It's called sequential model. It goes in a sequence. It goes by requirement gathering, designing, construction, integration, maintenance. After proposing this model, he written a line. I believe in this concept. He says the concept is good, but at the same time, the implementation described above is risky and invites failure. This is what he written in 1970s. But he didn't coin the word waterfall, but he was the one coined this a sequential format of doing the information technology project. But somehow that name waterfall methodology starts coming up, and all this term went to Vincent Royce. Okay. Now, how he picked up is he picked up from the information, he picked up from the manufacturing industry and the construction industry, this model. And that's how it happened. And people still curse that this model is not good, we won't work. But those days it was working. But in 1970s, this happened. So if in 1970s this happened, in 1950s on, we started hearing about Agile. The first thing was started implemented in 1950s from US Defense Department and also from NASA. The iterative incrementally, they started doing work. That's where the first thought process of Agile started coming up. There are some stories behind this. So what I do is, let's take a little break here where you can catch up your breakfast or your dinner or your lunch. Once you come back, I'll talk a little background about Agile and I'll talk about some of the methodologies of Agile. I will start deep diving inside. Right, let's do that. So far, are you good? Are you comfortable listening? Fantastic. So what we'll do is we'll take a break of 15 minutes because some of you have to catch up your breakfast and dinner. Let's utilize this 15 minutes, brush up and get ready and come back again. We'll start with more concepts. Thanks for being here. Catch you in 15 minutes. Okay, welcome back. Hope you're good. The break was useful. Okay, I'm seeing thumbs up from Manjula. Usually the break makes us a little more stronger, feeding some food for ourselves. So what I'll do is we'll get inside. So I will quickly bring up the content. Here we go. Okay, just confirm my audio is good, video is good, and we're able to see the screen. Yes, all good. Okay, let's go. Here, I'm going to talk more about where I left at the break time. Where we left, I started talking about Agile. I gave a little background history of where the waterfall came up. But again, now you should understand a little bit about Agile factors. Agile is there for a long time, but the name of Agile was not there. It's there where people started thinking, hey, what we're doing currently is fine, but still, shall we do it a little better way? So if you watch out, in 1950s, they started using it in the incremental approach. I'll give some history behind that. Before that, in 1960s, they thought about it. The main breakthrough happened in 1986 when Takuchi and Nanoka, these two people, published a paper called the New Product Development. Here they used the rugby model. Rugby model was used. There is no clear evidence from where it picked up, but the Scrum ideally picked up the concept from here. Scrum picked up from this paper on the rugby. Then they created a Scrum. But again, the ownership still goes with the person who created the Scrum. But again, there is a debate that it's a copy of this content which they published in the paper. Okay, there are some debates on that, but let's not go too deep inside that. The point is that Takuchi Nanako brought out. What is this case all about? Now I want to connect it back a little bit here. How many of you are aware that these two names, Little Boy, Fat Man? Have you heard this name before? Little Boy and Fat Man? Somewhere you heard it. Little Boy, Fat Man, or at least you know the date, August 6, August 9. Okay, great. So this is on Hiroshima, Nagasaki, where the atomic and the nuclear, two different bombs has been happened. Are you aware of that? Okay, it's a very bad incident, happened in 1945, the end of World War, the last hit, right? It happened on August 6th, morning 8:15, the first launch, and August 9th. After August 6th, US planned to launch the next nuclear bomb after 5 days. Then they preponed it 3 days, 2 days, and then they launched it in August 9th itself. There's a big theory behind that, how they did it, what kind of did they did. The name of the bomb is Little Boy, the code name. The code name of this bomb is Little Boy. The code name for the next nuclear bomb is Fat Man. Okay, what's the story behind this? After this happened, the Japan totally surrendered with the US. Now, Japan said no more army for them, only US is supporting them. And that's not the point. The point is, after this happened, Japan couldn't go furthermore in the next stages. Whereas America opened up their market, telling that Japan can do business with them. Japan can learn their processes. They have free trade. They opened up very highly because of this incident. Now, what's the story here? Japanese many travel to America to understand how the business is happening, including Ford Motors or General Motors. Those days, manufacturing of cars is the biggest thing. When they came back and started doing in Japan, one thing they understood, America has a well-qualified people. Also, they can do in a mass scale. Whereas in Japan, don't have that much of high-qualified people. Also, they can do in a mass scale. So what they approach on that timeline, they call as incremental approach. With the knowledge, with the people, with the resource what they have, when I say resource, material and equipment also, they started working in an incremental model, rather doing things at one shot. And that is a birthplace of what you are learning today as Agile concepts. And from there it happened. Most of the concepts which you learn in Agile it's an essence out of Japanese model. Unfortunately, Japanese are not good in creating as a certificate, whereas Americans are so good in selling the product. So when you read most of things here are taken from the Japanese model of Kaizen principle, lean methodology, Kanban, Even the Scrum, which is from Takichi Nanako, their paper, they have a rugby approach. From there only the Scrum has been pulled out. So there are a lot of debates also, let's not go there. But point here is, in the period of 1980s and 1990s, there is something happening in the market. People are not really happy with the current way of sequential working. So they want to work in a different format. So in the year 2001, the first thought process of how to frame a common framework which can be useful to all, that's where the Agile came in. Now what happened is, in the year 1980s or 1960s, by that time, we have all this methodologies happening already. If you see here, the Lean was there, Scrum was there, Kanban, XP, Crystal, FDD, DSDM, and few more methods also there. All these methods exist even before 2001. By 2001, the people who are responsible for these methods came along and joined together. What they did, in the year 2001, in the month of February, nearly 20 years behind, far, what happened is they started talking about how can we bring up something common. So these are the 17 people who joined 20 years back, 17 people. In these 17 people, do you even know who's the founder of or innovator of Scrum? Anybody know that? Who actually came up with the Scrum? A name you know? Okay, answer coming up. Jeff, Srinivas says Jeff Ken. Okay, Jeff and Ken, right? These guys, you can see the picture down here. They are the one who brought out a Scrum methodology. When this is happening, parallelly one thing was happening very interestingly, and many people may not know that. There is a person called Ken Beck. I don't know how many of you are aware of him, Ken Beck, right? What is the specialty of Ken Beck? Ken Beck brought out what? I know these guys brought out a Scrum. What is a Ken Beck? Ken Beck. Can you Google Ken Beck? K-E-N-T, Ken, B-E-C-K, Beck. What is he? Can you just quickly Google and tell me what is he famous for? What is he famous for? What do you see in the Google? Ashok is asking, well, how come no Indian? Ashok, only you and me has to go. Nobody is there. XP. Ruchi says XP, well founded. Extreme programming is one of the best methodology of doing the project management in Agile way. Even though Scrum is highly used, the main essence of Agile is primarily from XP. So the best owner of that is Ken Beck. The world less know about him. The world less know about XP. If you take 12 principles of Agile, majority of the principles are essence from XP, which is called extreme programming. So Scrum, if you see, they took something from Takichi Hono, they took something from Ken Beck, they made it. Usually the original creators stay in the back seat, right? That's what happened. Okay, let's get back. 17 people. So Ashok is putting a question, how come no Indian? First answer is, this is purely by Americans by that time, in the 2001. We do have certain methodologies in India, but nothing went internationally recognized because there is no big manufacturing system by that time in the 19th century, because we are so busy in getting independence, right? That's why we are stuck for 200 years under certain control, 200, 300 years. And we are so busy to come out of that, the problem of independence and republic thing. And we couldn't think much. But whereas they were already out of civil war 400 years back, 200 years back. So they had a time to do those factors. We are just improving, right? We're a little baby. We'll take another 100, 200. Then you see, we'll be the rock star of the world. So hope Ashok, you feel better. We have all the stuff to do things. Only thing, we don't spend time on that. Okay. Sunil to collaborate everyone idea. Sunil Prashad. Okay. Yeah. More than philosophy, I feel in India is pretty good, but we deviate our energy into politics and cinema. We talk a lot, but we do less. I don't tell Americans taking everything. Americans work. I'm talking about actual 100 years back. They're explorers. They work hard. Our ancestors were working hard, but our generation, I don't think We talk a lot. We write well in Facebook and LinkedIn and YouTube. Real work, nothing happens. They keep on talking, right? The more Indians shut their mouth, better they work. That's my feel. There are some people really work hard. I'm not denying it, but many just talk a lot. We have to come out of that philosophy. Okay. Okay. Ashok is asking, Agile grew up in the software industry. Okay, Ashok, for your information, in India, at least from 2000 timeline, we are only in the implementation phase, not in the originating mindset. In 1980s and 1990s, the information technology boomed up in the US. They found some country which can do this work, who knows English, who can work with a less labor cost. So India has been primarily utilized for that. Not every knowledge given to these workers. They treat it as a worker class. Worker class means just do the work, what I'm saying. And those days, information technology is not spread like this, like internet or what we have. So they suppress some information, pass some information. So we do only the execution part of the project. Only when you do execution part, you cannot think more broader. In 2011-10 timeline, the market started opening broader. Internet came up. That's the reason you see a lot of youngsters are telling that we are reading more, right? So there are a lot of reasons behind that also, which we don't get that information. Now it is open. You can see school kids are so brilliant these days. Everything is available to them. You cannot compete with the millennials. They're pretty knowledgeable. But we cannot blame the older society. If I take my father, he worked in a government segment. I don't know how much of knowledge he would have got by the time. They have only file looking and writing system in their life. They read only an article published in the paper, nothing beyond that. Only few libraries will be there. That to the remote city of India, you won't get anything. On top of that, if they were able to bring up a family, I feel they are great on that timeline, right? So there are a lot of variation. I don't want to go too deep inside a lot of historical information there, but still, Indians are good knowledge, but only thing they should come out of politics and cinema. Keep telling to most of my friends. I have good knowledgeable friends. Unfortunately, they spend most of the time in politics. Okay, let's go back. Let's get a little more. So Ashok, don't worry, soon we'll find more. We have more Indians running through. Like someone said here, like Srinivas said, Sunil Prasad is the CEO of PMI. PMI, one of the biggest institute in the world. Sunil Prasad. By the way, Sunil Prasad is Indian origin. One thing about Indians is whenever they go to that country, they become the people of that country. Only we keep telling that that's Indian, that's Indian. They don't think about it. They'll be there. That's nature. That's how we should be. You cannot play game two places. Then it will become like China. Okay, let's not get into the cultural differences. Let's get to the subject. Okay, now here, what do you see in this graph? Okay, tell me, which one is a huge number here? Obviously visible, huge number. Do you think it's right? The number what they're giving here? The number what they're giving here for some one methodology, do you think it's right in information technology? Of course, other industries have different model, at least in information technology. Do you think it's the right one? Could be more than this? What do you feel? Could be more than this also, right? So I feel Scrum is highly used in various industries, including IT, highly used. Scrum, why it's been adopted is because of its easiness. If you watch here, 58% of the corporates are using Scrum methodology. But if you question me, is it Scrum used with the pure method what they subscribe? I would say no. Some upgradation will be there, some modification will be there. They use a term called tailoring, right? Through which they use it. So what about other things, Sriram? Look at your XP, the most prominent one, it is only 1%. But XP cannot work individually. It has to be clubbed with something, then only it's useful. If anybody learned a scaled agile, somebody say they learned scaled agile, right? Is it Manjula, Kirti? Who learned scaled agile? Here? Somebody learned scaled agile. Have you, when you learned scaled agile, did you see extreme programming there? Someone I heard is scaled agile, maybe bad memory. Okay, if somebody learned a scaled agile, in scaled agile, they talk more about extreme programming along with the Scrum, because Extreme programming has a code engineering factors of how to do things. I'll talk as I go deep inside. Also, you can see Scrum One. What is Scrum One, Shriram? Take Scrum, add with the Kanban, it will become Scrum One. So there are a few more methods also available in the market. You can see one more thing, 2%, I don't know. there are people who don't know what method it is. In some of the corporates, that's true. We don't know what method we follow because it's all mixed up. How many of you have this confusion in a corporate? What method you guys are doing? It will be a mix of multiple things. Anybody have that confusion? Or anybody see that mix of things happening in a corporate? Okay, let's go a little more. If you watch it here, just a picture shows a set of methodologies. Lean method. Lean means a reduction of wastage and delivering faster, right? And taking care of any blockers and stuff. So lean is there from so long time. However, it is in Japanese with the Toyota, it got pretty famous. Toyota lean manufacturing system. Whereas they took essence out of it and brought out something called lean product development methodology. That's what we are going to see in your books going forward. Now, if you see, lean is a superset. In the superset, we have agile as a subset. So the thoughts, what you're learning today is not new. It's there for a long, long time. Now, the lean, the Kanban stands between these two guys. So lean is there from 1950s or 1940. I heard somewhere in the book it says 1933 they started talking about it. Some say in 14th century they started talking about it. A lot of names behind lean, but primarily we have to give the credit to Japanese because of the Toyota system. Even Kanban is very famous from Toyota because they call it a signboard. What is the beauty of Kanban? The beauty of Kanban is visualization. Visualize how much of work happening, where are we? What is the other beautiful thing of Kanban? WIP, work in process or work in progress. And that's a few beautiful things makes Kanban pretty famous. We will talk about that also deep inside. Now, Agile is an essence of all this, which is there from a long time. Now, if you watch out here under Agile umbrella, you will primarily know something called Scrum, and you will hear about XP now. You heard about a Scrum One, Crystal, feature-driven development, right? FDD, AUP, TST. It's more, a lot of them. But predominantly, we will see Scrum. In exam, you will be targeted with the questions into Lean, Kanban, Scrum, XP. These are the areas exam question will target, right? Generally, they'll ask a general Agile. On top of that, they'll ask questions on certain areas. If you are into PMP exams, PMP is targeting more into Scrum plus Kanban at present. But we know PMI Institute, they slowly increase the intensity of the questions. Slowly, they will start increasing the intensity. What will happen is in PMP exam also, these questions get tougher. Somebody want to ask me, hey, if a PMP is having Agile, then why ACP? This question is there for a long time. Now, ACP is 100% Agile. They go pretty deep and explain a lot of concepts. Whereas PMP, it's not 100%, it's 50% Agile. So you have more about leadership, predictive nature, hybrid nature, right? Those are we're learning that. Here we'll talk Agile hybrid. What is Agile hybrid? Scrum plus Kanban, Scrumban. That's an Agile hybrid. But when you learn in PMP, you learn a hybrid of a predictive and adaptive, right? That's how it is. So all the way, it's a benefit to learn these courses. Let's go a little more. We will talk certain factors here. By the way, can I assume that most of you have a scribbling pad and pen next to you? You have a habit of writing certain points. Are you doing that? Are you doing it? Very good. Roji says yes. Okay, thanks, Ruchi, for confirming. I would request everybody, please have a paper and pencil next to you. Keep your mobile 10 feet away. Should I visit? Yeah, please keep the mobile 10 feet away. If you have a mobile next to you, it's a human nature. We will open and see, is there any message for me? you start seeing one message, you won't come out, right? That's naturally. So when the classes are happening, kindly keep your mobile pretty away. And also have a paper pencil write down, because we are sitting in a virtual class, chances are you may get sleepy sometime. When you have a habit of writing down, chances are you may connect well, right? Right, with this we'll start. There are certain things about the project in the sense of when can we go for a linear approach, that is sequential way, adaptive approach, two approaches, okay? When the uncertainty is low, the requirement uncertainty and technical uncertainty, both are low, it's called simple projects. Those projects we can go linear way. Linear means plan driven way. When the technicality is high, moderate, or requirement uncertainty is high, moderate, it's getting complicated project. There you go for adaptive approach, right? Still little more high, it's getting complex project. There also we go adaptive. If it is peak high of requirement changes, too much of changes, too much of technical factors having uncertainty, it's a chaos. Fundamentally risk doing those projects. So what to do? Make more understanding and bring the project either to complex, complicated, or simple. If not, don't take that project. It will burn you. Why we have to show this? We have to show that because simple doesn't mean that very easy. Simple mean that we're talking about requirement uncertainty is low. We know the requirement. Technical uncertainty is low. We know what to do, how to do. When that's the case, we can go for predictive approach, right? That's how they talk about it. Hope this is clear for you. You're getting some info. I appreciate that. Thanks for writing down the paper. Let's go a little more. I'm just trying to make the ground clear for you to have a clarity of what we are going to learn, what we are learning. Again, if you see here, frequency of deliverable. Okay, well, the frequency of delivery is pretty high. Frequency of delivery is pretty high. You go for agile nature. When it is low, I can plan well and do things, right? That's how it works. So frequency decides certain factor, right? So what do you do here? When the frequency of requirement changes, frequency of requirement changes happen, what happens? You work in an iterative way. Repeatedly you get the requirements. The rest of the undone work, not yet done work, keep changing. That's an iterative way. Iteratively you get requirements. What is iterative? Repeatedly. Repeatedly you get the requirements. Frequency of deliverable, incremental. Frequently you deliver. So these two are the one which we are getting. Your WhatsApp, your Facebook, your LinkedIn, when you open a mobile as an application, it is iterative, it is incremental. When you say iterative, repeatedly they get requirements for the WhatsApp. How can they improve group calls, group chat, or some improvement keep happening? And incrementally they keep delivering it. That's why when you switch on the internet, WhatsApp new version get downloaded. Whereas the frequency of deliverable or frequency of change is very low for a home construction. Imagine you are living in a complex and there is a new building construction happening next to you. You're watching this complex construction of, let's say, a villa. A villa is getting constructed. Now, villa, it has a frequency of deliverable is one shot deliverable once everything is completed. Changes can happen, but not too frequently. They know a villa can be 5,000 square feet, can have a green lawn, can have a swimming pool, right? They know that. Changes can happen, I'm not saying no, but the frequency is pretty lesser. So they can go for predictive approach. In software, is it possible? Possible. For example, in India, State Bank of India is here. State Bank of India is having a software for more than, let's say, 5-10 years. Now they want to rewrite the software in the new technology. New technology. Now let me ask you, State Bank of India would like to rewrite the software exactly what they did years back into new technology. Would you like to go for a predictive or agile model? What model you want to go? Let me give the choice to you. What model you want to go? Which model you want to hit? You want to go predictive, you want to go adaptive. I'm looking at your chat window. Let me see answers from everyone. Manjula says adaptive. Okay. Okay. Let me see others as well. You can use a chat window, you can give your answers based on delivery cycle. Okay. Okay. Okay, this is a rewriting of whatever they have already. State Bank of India is having an online. Also, they have their own application at their office. How are you going to rewrite it? What do you want to do? Okay, I'm seeing two different answers here. Let me see from Zehur. Since the requirement is the same, just a change of technology. Zehur says that you can go predictive, guys. She's saying that delivery, okay, delivery frequency is a question. Those changes are not going to change much. They're going to use the same and replicate it. Arun says, let's go predictive nature. But Ruchi says that if exactly same requirements are predictive, but if you enjoy it. Okay, great. Ashok says hybrid, right? So now the possibility varies here. When I say State Bank of India rewriting the software, when they start rewriting the software, they could have all the lessons learned with them. They could have all the details with them. The frequency of deliverable may be a couple of shots, not one shot, maybe 2-3 releases. Every quarter they give releases. Retail customers, one release. Corporate customers, one release. Loan segment, one release. SBI staff utilization model, that's one release. Now, chances are you're just going to upgrade the technology, could go predictive because I'm working in some of the projects. We are doing a cloud migration. Have you heard about cloud migration? We move from on-prem servers to the cloud. Shriram, what is this on-prem? On-prem means those days they have a big machines, server machines. I don't know how many of you seen it. At least I have visited some of the centers. They call it data center. They'll have a big machines. Okay, all hard disk, IBM machines and mainframe machines. So now you did lift and shift. Oh my God, you lift the server on your own. Okay, Rishi is talking about cloud migration. Now what we do is we move this application which is running in the hard disk servers to another hard disk which we call as cloud. Now Amazon has a cloud environment. We all very famously know cloud, right? We keep everything there. Now, if that's the case, most of the time I see it happening as a predictive nature, where we know that this is going to be in this cloud, Amazon cloud, Google cloud, or respectively what you want, Azure, it's going to be there. And also we know that what technology it's going to be. It was in Java 1.0, now I have to move to Java 2.0. But the functionality, I don't touch. I will use only the technology change, right? If SBI, State Bank of India, want to do that, not much change. It's just a lift and shift what Ruchi is talking about, right? We will rewrite the things in the new technology. But the frequency of deliverable, somebody said it depends on the frequency of deliverable. That's a good thought. But again, if they say only by quarter release is going to happen because we already have an existing system running, no problem. We are running a business, no problem. We are not burning here. We are happy. If you give a new system, I'm happy, but no urgency. Give it 3 months, that's fine. So it depends on the customer. Now I'm seeing Ashok's point, hybrid possible. You can have hybrid also. There is no single answer here. It depends on the customer. But again, in IT also, predictive nature is possible. Don't think IT means agile only. Does it make some sense? You got some point? Okay, let's listen to a video. An analogy about agile is being presented. Let's watch this. What I do is I will play this video. Before that, I will do some stuff for you. Okay, let's listen.
Here we go.
This is St James's Park, home of Newcastle United Football Club. I was born in Newcastle and grew up a few miles out of town. In Newcastle, they say that football isn't life or death. It's more important than that. Alas, my own football skills were distinctly lacking. But there was a game we'd play at the back of the classroom when the teacher wasn't looking. Football, kind of. I'm sketchy on the rules. I guess we'd take turns to get across the pitch and...
Nice strike! Oh, better than nice! Wonderful!
It struck me recently that the game is a rather lovely demonstration of Agile. We have value delivered in small increments as the ball makes its way up the pitch. And we have the opportunity to course correct. Turns out that it's easy to recover from a wayward first kick. It's taken me decades to work out how to really play this game. Now, where did I put my special pencil? Ah, here it is. My turn. Ready, aim. Aim some more, and...
Good shot, it's in! Final minutes!
As I'm sure you've guessed, this enormous pencil represents a waterfall approach. It's an all eggs in one basket approach. We design, build and test this Leviathan and launch it onto the world.
Lovely cushioned header.
It's either a big hit or a big miss. No second chances. If our aim is true, if the playing field is flat, if the goalposts don't move, we're on to a winner. But for me, that's an awful lot of ifs, an awful lot of risk. In an uncertain world, the enormous pencil starts to look less like an unfair advantage and more like a big-assed liability. In an uncertain world, we need a pencil that's more, what's the right word? Agile. With this small but perfectly formed agile pencil, our aim doesn't need to be true, the playing field doesn't need to be flat, and the goalposts don't need to stay put. All that we're really required to do is keep kicking.
Oh, what about that?
So what did you make of the what is agile pencil analogy?
Okay, does it make some sense? You got this analogy helps you to give some idea. In the sense, keep kicking.
This is this.
Hope that gives some idea for you. It's something not like always you have to make a big plan. Big plan helps, but at times short plan when the requirement is not clear. Okay, good. Now we're going to learn something called Agile Manifesto. There are 4 manifesto and 12 principles which I mentioned. These 17 people at the time of 2001 written down, they call us a 4 manifesto and 12 principles. What is seen here is a 4 manifesto. Now, what they talk here, they give a 4 manifesto which primarily talks about how can you be flexible enough with the customer or with your team members. You can see in this 4 agile values or manifesto. On the right, you will see certain things interesting, talking about process and tools, comprehensive documentation, negotiation, right? And these are things which already exist with us. We have tools and techniques in the market now. We have some documentation happening now. We have some contract negotiations happening now. We do have certain things called about following the plan consistently. We do that. I'm not saying no, we do that. They're telling that this 17 people who joined together on the time of defining the agile values. They say that these all things are happening. We respect it. We need it. We need a process in place. Without process, things will not move. Documentation, minimal. We need it to move. We need contracts. We need to follow the plan. It's all good. But on top of that, you can do something which can enhance your way of working. When they say top of that, they started talking something called individuals and interactions are more important than the process and tools. That doesn't mean that you will not have process and tools. You will have it, but you will spend more time with the people around you. What kind of people? Could be your team members, could be your vendors, could be your customer representative, could be end user. Have more individuals and interactions with them to understand more what they look for. Don't kill your time in process and tools. This is the reason in Agile they recommend face-to-face communication. You can see the sticky notes way of discussion, right? On the board, they put all color sticky notes that talk about the project, upcoming things, stand up. Kirti or somebody telling, right? Stand up. How you guys meet stand up? Anybody have a face-to-face conversation for stand up? Let me listen, some of you. Is there any face-to-face communication happening in stand up? So how do you do stand-ups, most of you? Ruchi says yes. Okay. Okay. Do everybody getting a chat window option? Because I'm not seeing chat from many of you. Before lockdown, okay, Harun says before lockdown. But even after lockdown, you do a video calls with most of you? You do that? Video calls, yeah, that helps, right? I know it doesn't look like the real meeting what we do, but it works. It works, right? It works. Yeah, in some time it will become like a VR. I don't know how many of you heard about VR, virtual reality, where you wear a particular goggle where it tells that you stand as if in a room, right? I believe with the COVID, a new technology is emerging like anything. In another 1 or 2 years, we will see a lot. In fact, we all can wear a glass where we all can be in one classroom. See, now ideally, I'm not seeing any of you. I'm taking the class looking at my screen. Sometimes it looks good. Sometimes I don't feel more comfortable because I don't see your face. I don't see your eye contact. I really don't know whether you're listening, right? Whereas in a classroom, it happens. I see people in front of me. They keep writing notes, asking questions. It's there, but still it's better. If you compare 5 years back, we are now better. We don't have any latency now, right? I can talk straight away in the Zoom and you're listening to me in any part of the world. Imagine in 2 3 years, we may have some class where Zoom or some new application comes into. We all can be in one classroom, stand and talk to each other. Possible, maybe possible. The point here is individual interactions is pretty important than process tools. That's the reason they conduct this retrospectives or meeting people, talk to them, make them understand. That's more important. And they talk about the working software. Documentation is important. Not saying no, it's there, but minimalize. Do more on something working. I remember the days when some guys or some of my friends who worked from Infosys and Wipro those days, they tell that, hey, when a new project comes in, we spend a lot of our time in documentation. I don't know how many of you went through this process or at least heard from your friends. They first document a lot before the work starts. There was a reason behind that. The reason is they have to give it to operations team. They have to hand over to another team after the work got completed. So only when the documents are there, they'll be able to follow that in long run. This was a belief. That belief all went away. Okay. Okay. Srini was saying HLD, LLD, high level design, low level design. Shankar, what is SOP coming for? I'm missing to get it.
Standard operation procedures.
What procedure? Repeat again.
Standard operation procedure.
Oh, standard. Okay, standard operation procedure. Thanks for sharing that. Manjula says I still do more of documentation. Oh, Manjula, you're feeling so happy. Not bad.
Definitely not happy with so much of documentation. I think it's more about following more processes oriented, and we have to have that in place.
But it also depends on the model of project you are. Imagine you're in a sensitive project. Okay, you can't live everything undocumented, right? So we need certain things to be documented, and at the same time minimalize it. And again, with the agile trend, one thing is happening in the market. People have started arguing. Since it's agile, I don't want any document. Don't do any document. Document is not useful. But actually document has changed its phases now, like coronavirus changing its phases. Document also changed. In 2000, 2005, I remember the days as a junior guy in a company, they first asked us to write a document. More than you write the HTML coding, VB6 by the time I believe. Do the document work, write a pseudocode and show how do you do, and then get to the stuff. It was here. That's too much, not needed now. Those days it was needed for follow-up reason. Now, if you say document is not needed, then I'll tell the document is needed at a minimal level and also with the current trend. I recommend if you watch out any Amazon application or Amazon software, we like to order in Amazon for various reasons, because of they have a return policy, because of well listed items there. One other reason many people like Amazon, not only Amazon, many shopping apps, the reason is primarily in Amazon, I can go back and see what all I ordered in the last 2 to 3 years. It has a full documentation of what all orders happened, when I ordered, who delivered it, what is the price of it, when I returned it, does the money came back to me, all those details are there. Whereas certain orders I do, just a minute, I'm getting pretty high sound outside. There's a big IT park construction happening next to my place. It's a pretty residential area. And I thought after this COVID, these guys will run away. After this COVID, only the IT construction park is going pretty faster. I wish everybody do work from home for a while. Okay, coming back. See, point of Amazon is I many times order it in a rush. I may be starting to office, going somewhere, order something. By mistake, I click the order, then I feel I don't want to cancel it. I don't even bother whether the money came to me or not, because I'm pretty assured the money will come back to me. If not, also, I have the data documentation to track back. If you open my Amazon, you can see a lot of orders, ordered, cancelled, everything is there. Last 3 to 4 years, I have all the details. Is it documentation? Do you call that? Is it a new form of documentation? If you call that as a new form of documentation, that is a documentation helping you to create a trust on Amazon. Right? Do you agree on that? Do you agree that you have a trust on Amazon because of that? We agree, right? Even I remember, I don't know which product, some product. Yeah, I have air conditioning. This air conditioning has a service to be done. I call these guys for the survey. They say, where is the bill? I don't know where I got the bill. I don't know where I bought it. Then I was Googling and finding out, went to my apps like Flipkart and Amazon, and we were searching my account and my family account. Finally, somewhere I bought. 2 years back, I bought in Flipkart. There I go and click it. When I click the button, it shows me download the invoice. I took that invoice and sent to the center. They said, fine, sir, it is under warranty. We'll do the service. Now look at the documentation. We have the documentation, right? But the form of documentation has changed. So we cannot blame documentation totally. At the same time, like Manjula says, too much of content, it makes you exhausted, unwanted. Sometimes you feel, man, I know it's not useful. Why the hell you're doing it? If that's the case, we can question. If not, documentation has changed its versions now. We are a different version of documentation, digitalized, transparent, and useful. Look at the word I use, transparent. How many of you using Jira software here or MS Project for your project tracking and working? Anybody use Jira here? Some of you. Srinivas says, yes, I'm using Jira, right? MS Project. MS Project, is it a 365? Is it an online version or it's your version, Shankar? Arun says Jira. Very good. Okay. Okay. If some of you are not aware, there is something called Jira, J-I-R-A. It's a tool. It's a software which helps to do PMIS. PMIS, Project Management Information System. It maintains the project information. It helps team to know where the work is progressing. Now, it's a transparent tool. Shyam, what do you mean by transparent? I'll go back in 1990 and 2000. In 1990 and 2000, only a manager knows what work to be done. Only the manager has a detail what all work to be done in the future. Now, this manager will take one portion of the work and give to the team, and next portion of work to another team. So team has to only do the work and get back to the manager. Manager record the information, send us an Excel sheet, Word document between manager to manager, manager to manager, senior manager to senior manager, director to director. It was a closed circle for so many years. After this agile concept came in, after technology has improved, all the doors got opened. Now, what is happening is, this is a Jira is a software visible to anybody in the project. A manager can see the same information, a junior resource can see the same information, a customer can see the information. That's pretty beautiful, right? Customer was not aware for so many years what these guys are doing. They only wait for the deliverable to come out. Until deliverable comes out, they don't know. Now everything is pretty open, right? I too face certain managers who hide the data. Do you face any manager who hide the data, thinking that hiding data will help them to grow? Have anybody faced it? Happy romantic managers were there those days, at least I've seen. They hide the data. They won't show you what's happening, how things are moving. Those people don't have a life now because everything got transparent now, where people should see that. Now, coming back to the point of comprehensive documentation, documentation is important, but keep it minimal to the level, whereas focus on something workable, usable. Now, the customer is fine with your design document. Those days, if you remember, there is something called Visio. I don't know how many of you are aware of Visio. Have you heard about Visio? Visio, which talks about a UML, Unified Modeling Language, design diagram. Huh? Shankar, you enjoyed that? You have a MS Visio. Okay, you use it still now? It's there? Okay, Manjula says she heard about it. Okay, great. I remember the days as a junior resource, Visio is a very expensive software by the time. I don't know whether it exists now, it's there or not, I don't know. Those days, it's very expensive software. They will get 4 or 5 licenses in a company. I was in a moderate company by the time initially. They'll give this license to only the senior manager. Juniors will not have access, right? Now what happened is, this senior manager don't even know how to open this, but that guy will have access. Junior resource know how to use it, but no access. So we have to request him to give access for a couple of hours to use it. This is how Visio was used. So what I'm telling is, there are certain ways they created the design documents, all stuff, which is purely from the manufacturing and construction industry. Later they understood this model will not work for knowledge-based projects like information technology, where we have to keep things open, because here the resources are more knowledgeable than the managers. Seriously? Yes. There is a category called knowledge workers. I'll talk more deep inside as I proceed. For now, understand each and individual resource is more knowledgeable than whom we call as managers. It's called knowledge workers. So expectation is, don't fight within them for the documentation. Rather, give me something working software. Every time when the customer sees a piece of activity working, that's fine. Why should I need a software document? I don't need a document at all. So how frequently matters here. In Agile, we have a delivery model within 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. Agile books recommends Agile can be having a sprint or iteration, which can be 1, 2, 3, or 4. So if every 2 weeks I'm going to give a deliverable, superb. Why should I even look for a document? I will have a set of work to do, and my work is completed. My completed work is my progress. I don't need any document. Let's take a construction. There is a building construction is happening, and I have to call my engineer. Hey, how much you completed? Either he can give me a document, sir, 25 items completed. He can tell that, or I can visit the spot to see how much of work completed. Or he can take some pictures and share with me, get a video and share with me. That shows the progress for me, right? That's what the world is going towards. By the way, this was written in the year 2001, where the documentation is so primary. Okay, let's go next one. Contract negotiation, yes, stay along with the contract, deals, terms, timeline, cost factor, fixed bid, cost reimbursable, time and material, all are good. We're not saying no for it, have it. But again, respect the customer value, collaborate more with them. They use a word called longevity. Look for how this customer stay long with us. It's very important. We are not going to get the business and run away, right? Take example of your corporate. Do you see many of your business are running more than 2 to 3 years? Same customer, same set of vendors. Do anybody see that more than 1 or 2 years? At least you're working with them. At least 4 or 5 years you're working with them. If you see that is happening, we are looking for longevity. At least I work in some of the projects where we are continuing with the same set of people. I'm working with the same project for 3.5 years. Same project, 3.5 years. Yeah, I handle around 9 to 12 big projects. Very huge. Okay, I'm talking very huge projects. This very huge 9 to 12 itself, because 2, 3 are getting closed now. Now imagine 12 huge projects. In this 12 huge projects, 3 or 4 customers are there with me for 3, 4 years, right? They literally know in and out of what I'm doing. They know me like anything. They just start the call, hey, Shriram, what's up, man? How things are going? A client will talk like that. I'm talking top level executive. The MD level will come and talk, hey, what's up, dude? What's happening? That's how they start the conversation. That's collaboration is pretty important. Don't die for the contract. But that doesn't mean that you should not have contract. You should have contract. Paper is important. But for that paper, don't lose the people. Start focusing more on the customer collaboration. Understand what they want. What makes them the better happiness. That's pretty important. Happiness quotient is pretty important. So again, this came in the year 2001, where the too much is strict towards a contract negotiating and tracking the deal. Responding to change or following a plan. This is the biggest boon of Agile, responding to change. Look at the word responding, not reacting. Responding to change. Now, there is a room given here in Agile where you can recommend changes. You don't need to tell that, hey, plan has been made, we won't make a change. I don't think this is applicable now. After 20 years of Agile came in, now we are pretty understood that we are not so much strict to the plan. We are open for changes many times, right? Many times we go for changes. As I gave an example of a hotel industry, in the last 20 years, the hotel industry has changed a lot. I don't know how many of you have been to hotels, let's say at your school days with your parents. They're a little rigid by the time. Once ordered, you can't change it. There's a no such order, that's it. Off late, even the order, you can change anytime. Even the order comes to your table, you feel that I don't like it. They say, no, I don't like it. They say, it's okay, sir. It's okay, we'll bring another one with a smile. With a smile. Why? They want to have the customer collaboration. They want a longevity with you. They don't want you to run away as from the hotel today. You have to come next week. You have to spread the message to other customers, so they will spread another message to the other people. People will come inside. It's a customer-centric market now. If you don't do that, maybe you will win the deal with this customer. That's it. After that, things gets over, right? Possibly. By the way, whatever I've spoken up here, do you think it's applicable only for software or any other industry can think of it? What's your thought? Is it only applicable for software? All right, can be an industry. Can be an industry. But not all industry can go under this umbrella. Certain things can be like talking to people and showing something usable, responding to change. That's all fine. Okay, now these 4 are 4 manifestos. Can you quickly write down in your paper and give me done in the chat window? Just write down individual interaction over process and tools, working software over comprehensive documentation, customer collaboration over contract negotiation. Can you quickly write down the paper? So Arun is pretty fast. Man, you're so good. Okay, can you write down in your paper and pencil? Just give me done, right? Later, you can click a picture and start sharing on a daily basis. You do as a daily writing habit. These are the 4 manifestos you're going to write it daily. Daily, man, yes, it is for some time. Once you get the grip of it, yeah, no need to write, you know things. Okay, got it done from our own Manjula Srinivas. Okay, I'll give a few seconds as the rest of you also can write down. No need to write everything, just write just 4 text items enough. Right. Shankar is done, Jeru is done. Very good. Very good. Let's give a few seconds. Get everybody complete. By the way, I heard from some of you say that you did a Scrum certification. When you did a Scrum certification, did you got these 4 manifestos there? Did you read this properly there also? Anybody here who got opportunity to read it more there? Okay, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got few. Okay, not in depth. Okay. I meant to see few more people to give done. You are writing. Can we move on? What's the status there? What is the status? Can I believe that you're writing? Nitin says done. Thanks, Nitin. Okay, Ruchi says I read in CSM. I know these concepts are getting repeated in multiple places. Okay, so majority of the people say done. Few more yet to give me done. I believe you are written down. Okay, let's move to the next status. Now you're going to help me to tell which maps to where. We have something called working software. Working software match with what? Match the following. Working software match with working software over what? What? Working software over contract? No. Working software over comprehensive documentation. Documentation is fine, but show something workable, usable. That's a message, right? That's good. Responding to change over what? Responding to change over following a plan. We respect the plan. I'm not saying no, but give respect for more changes. Pretty good. Individuals and interactions over what? Over process and tools. We respect process in place, but people are more important. Have you observed in some places, process will make you little upset, right? In some of the movies, you would have seen that they take a patient to admit in a hospital. The hospital says, first fill up the form and get the approval, bring up an FIR, first information report in case there's an accident, then we'll admit to the hospital. Okay, the hero makes some stuff in the movie. Okay, leave the hero part. But some of the things are process which is stuck you not to move forward, right? They're not saying no. They're not saying no for the process. Process should be there. It's important. At the same time, you respect the individuals around you. That's pretty important. Customer collaboration over what? Over contract negotiation, right? Good job. Most of you did dance as well. I appreciate that. Here we see the answer. Fantastic. Good job. Good job. Let's go to the principles. Shriram, when you will start taking the classes of the subject, what you are learning is a subject. This is what your first chapter is all about. They'll talk 4 manifesto, 12 principles. Since some of you learned it, you are conversant, some of may be new here. So I'm trying to give little knowledge. You go back and read the books of Mike Griffith. By the way, you will read the book Mike Griffith, an Agile Practice Guide. There, you will see these 12 principles and 4 manifesto explained elaborately with more examples. Okay, in the year 2001, as I said, 1980, 1990, 2001, these 17 people, they brought out this 4 manifesto. The 4 manifesto stands on the basement. There is a basement. The basement is called 12 principles. Principles are something which makes you and me live a life. Having 7.3 billion population in the world, still one human will not eat another human. I really should have, yeah, they are still there in the name of backstabbing or political, not a problem with it, they still eat us, but still certain principles keep us safe. If not this much of population, the world never seen in the history. It's the first time you're seeing this much population. Usually civil war and world war happens and the population start declining drastically, right? And now they thought the COVID will do that. Yes, it's doing it. It's reducing. Usually it happens because of peak and come down, peak come down. Now we are the peak population. Further peak is coming all the way. India is contributing a lot. Now coming back, the population lives safer when the principles are followed. We have certain principles, norms and conditions. Behaving with the human civilization, that's how we are safe. Now, why that story here? When you want to do a project, when you want to do agile nature, you should have certain principles in the ground. If these principles are not there, it will get diluted. Many think that agile is pretty open. Open in a sense as no documentation, no work, randomly plan some work, do random work. That is not the case. There are certain principles in under the ground layer, which makes us to stand top of it. So let's understand what is the basement here. Okay. If you see here, there are 12 items given here. I want you to tell me which number you like. Read this one word. I'm going to give explanation in the next slides also. Tell me which one you like. Take one number and tell me which one you like. Shankar says number 1 I like. Okay. Customer satisfaction or satisfy the customer. Agile principle says that satisfy customer with early and continuous delivery of valuable software. Number 1. Customer satisfaction is not only for IT industry. If you go to any industry in the world, customer satisfaction is pretty important. The moment you say customer, many start thinking only the end user. It is not always end user, right? If I'm telling you I'm working on 12 mega projects, in this 12 mega projects, couple of projects are not directly to the customer. It may be my internal organization where I have to be a sub-component of that. There, the sub-component receiving party is my customer. So how do you satisfy that customer decides how that team satisfy the end customer. Pretty important, right? I go and order a pizza. Okay, have you seen the pizza stores that be very open, where you can see there is a delivery receiving billing person. Billing person meet the end user like me or you. The delivery person takes a slip and go inside the cooking spot where the pizza is getting ready. So the pizza guy works out and they prepare it, the pan, the bottom cake all done, and then hand over to the delivery person. Delivery person brings to the table with a smile, sir, your pizza is ready. We say 10 minutes, within 7 minutes we given you. Now here, each one have their own customer. For the delivery person, I may be the customer. For the guy who's cooking in the kitchen, or the person who's preparing the pizza, for him, the delivery guy is the customer. Now, how do you treat everybody equally important and satisfied decides the end user satisfaction? So point is, satisfying the customer is not a new thing. It's there for a long time. But how do you do? They put as a principle. Okay, good. Principle number 7, working software. Working software is a primary progress of measure. Primary progress of measure. If you read the principle, probably I should have a here it is. Okay. Okay. 7th one. Working software is a primary measure of progress. Look at the word primary. It means there is secondary also there. Secondary can be your documentation. Secondary can be your status calls. But the primary measure is workable thing. Show something workable. I used to quote the example of food getting ready for the lunch kitchen. Let's say there is a big party going to happen today. You invited all of your relatives coming over for the lunch. Now, by 11 a.m., you want to pass by the kitchen. Cooking is happening. You can get something good getting ready. Now, what is their working software? You go there and you see something is there in the dish plate there. You take some item, put in the hand. Working software, primary measure of progress. Now you know that something is good getting ready. And right away can give a feedback. Mom, it's too spicy. You have to watch out. Mom, here the sweetness is a little less. Can you add more? Mom, this is really good today. So now you show something working rather than just telling. Or my mom tells from the kitchen, hey, food is ready. How much? 2 items. Okay. Which 2 items? I don't know. Only she knows, right? So we don't want the documentation here. We want to see the progress there, how it's happening. By the way, how many of you have this habit? Just get into the kitchen and see how the food is coming up. Do anybody have that habit? At least I used to do that years back. Now I'm not doing it. Anybody do that? Just walk to the kitchen and take some food and taste it and feel, okay, today food is going to be great. I used to do that. On the weekends, I used to do that. Often my weekends are all with the camera and standing in front of people. So I don't do that. Those days I used to do because Sunday is a big day in family, right? So Sunday lunch will be big lunch, and big lunch will happen by 2:30 only it will get ready. So from 1 o'clock, you'll start bell ringing in your tummy. So we'll start moving around by 12:30, 1 to taste and feel how is it. Okay, good. One more number. Anybody want to talk any other number interesting here? Any other principle you feel interesting? Okay, Ruchi says, 5 looks interesting. Build projects around motivated individuals. Oh my God. How many of you observe this word, motivated individuals? Okay, now the question is, so Sriram, somebody is not interested, we should not give this work. If somebody is not interested and if you give the work, what will happen is, we have to bring back the old model of project management, which we call as a command and control. Have you heard about command and control? Where the manager has all the responsibility of the work and the manager has a task list with him or her. They have to direct the team to do the work. Now tell me the advantage of motivated individuals. Motivated individuals, you no need to do anything. You just give them the vision and goal. The rest, they will do that. That's what the game is all about, right? So now that makes them to feel more connected with the work, what to do. That is what they do in a football. That's what they do in a cricket match. Cricket, it's okay. I don't consider cricket as a great sport when you look at the football. But cricket is great in India. But if you see football, you need to have a real motivated individuals. If not, you cannot run on the ground for 45 minutes or 1.5 hours. You need that force. You need that energy. Right? You cannot stand in the one corner of the ground and say, hey, I'll get a catch and the ball comes. You have to run all the time. You should have a motivated individuals who have the urge to play for the game, who has a passion, who has an involvement, who knows a role where they have to stand, what they have to do. That's motivation should be there. If not, you have to keep on setting things. You stand there, you do this. That's not needed. In a motivated individuals, end of time, it's not only your team members, even your vendor, even your third party going for stakeholder handling. Right? It's a good point. Shankar is putting a point. Is that a stakeholder engagement? Kind of. Yes, it's a part of stakeholder engagement. See, stakeholder engagement is not a new topic. It's there for so many decades. Specifically in PMP, they go very elaborately down. They talk about superset as stakeholder management. In stakeholder management, subset is resource management. That is your team members. A superset, a big ball, that's a stakeholder. You know what is big ball? Anybody in your project is a stakeholder. You and me are a project as stakeholder. Let's take this online classes. In online classes, you are a key stakeholder. I am a stakeholder. Rahul, who is planning the program, is a stakeholder. Yeah, that's possible. Zoom is a stakeholder, third party, where we have a license to run this program, stakeholder. But internally, there will be certain team members who do the work to happen this project work. Right? The team directly focus on the work. That's called resources, internal team. Yeah. So all are stakeholders. But in Agile, they take the same concept, nothing new here, but they give more respect to the people around you. They don't even use the word resource, they use the word people. People are more powerful. They call us knowledge workers. Fantastic, great. Super, Shankar. Ruchi says, I like 10th one too. Kiss. Okay, Ruchi likes kiss. Okay. Ruchi, kiss talks about keep it simple. Simplicity. The word they use here is simplicity. Okay. No bells and whistles unless needed. Fantastic. So simplicity, the whole principle says that the art of maximizing amount of work not done is essential. This is the actual statement of principle. By the way, what you see in the screen is not an actual statement. Let me see if I have that. If not, I'll share you as a writing assignment. No, I don't have it. I don't have it. I'll share it as an assignment, right? There, it will be a proper sentence, actual sentence from the 17 guys who written in 2001. That's what your assignment also. Simplicity is art of maximizing amount of work not done. This is a debatable line for many people. Art of maximizing amount of work not done. How much of work which is not relevant to the project, let's not do that. It could be project work or it could be the process also. I was hearing from Manjula that too much of documentation happening. Maybe through simplicity, we can start that. Maybe certain meetings, I have heard many times in my corporate skip level meeting I do with junior resources. They tell that, Shriram, there are too many meetings, man, which is consuming a whole day. When I do my work, morning there is one meeting. They're saying stand up, sit up, run up, a lot of meetings are there. How many meetings I'll attend? It's a simplicity, you can ignore it and stop it. And primary simplicity I talk here is many project work we focus on too much of things rather focusing exactly what the customer wants. Don't go too much. Focus simple, straight, which is doable, which is usable. Unwanted things can be cut down. Simplicity, the art of maximizing the amount of work not done is essential. I'll quote example of your mobile phone. When I bought my mobile phone, I browsed 7 or 8 websites to read a lot about multiple comparison of the phones with multiple features. The moment I bought the phone, I don't know whether I used all the features. Not at all. I want to see the camera is good. Nowadays, people want to zoom the moon from here to the camera mobile. They want to zoom the moon and click a picture. They want to go to Mars and click the picture. After they bought this mobile, not even one picture clicked. Couple of selfie clicked, which is very bad. They have to delete it. So this is what they use for the mobile. So feature wise, what you thought when you want to buy, when you buy, you don't use it. The market says that more than 60% of the features people are not using. If that's the case, why should we develop a system which is not going to be used? So focus on which is needed. XP talks about it. Extreme programming says that keep it simple. Don't complicate the things so that you can reach the market early with a quality deliverable. Next release, you can think of next simple thing. Next release is another next simple thing. But don't try to put everything in the same place, which is going to kill your time. And also the process, which I spoke about. Okay, I think we are good top of the time. By the way, don't think we're going to start here with the principle. I have given 12 principles. We will discuss every principle, 1 or 2 principles in all the classes. We'll get examples, bring up the principle, talk about it, go back again principle, go back again. So we're going to use this principle again and again because your whole exam is based on this principle. By the way, this will be your assignment to start writing from today. We'll see one question, then we'll move for a break for the class. So look at a question and tell me what you think about it. Sometimes in the ACP exam, we get a direct question like this pretty rarely, but we do get directly on the principle also. We get a question. Okay, according to Agile principle, one of the below is a primary measure of work. What is a primary measure? Working software is a primary measure. You got that, but don't expect same sort of question. It used to come last. There is one girl took the examination. I don't know how many of you is watching YouTube channel. Have anybody seen the recent interview of a person who cleared ACP? Sakshi, she gave an interview a week before. Did anybody saw that video? Yes, Nitin says yes. Rahul, if time permits, please share that link with the team in the WhatsApp. Please share. I'll get the link for you. She has given that exam questions are a little lengthy. They were asking more detailed question with the detailed answers. I feel I won't call it as tough. I will call as standard is pretty high. It's useful to do. Okay, that's saying that's a good learning today. Hope the learning went well for you. You got some information. What all we saw today? Okay, here is stop sharing. Okay, by the way, Rahul pinged you the YouTube link. Just click that. You will get a person who cleared ACP last week. And she gave some feedback that may help you. Take a look of it. By the way, today being the first day, we started with a very basic information. We didn't get the deep insight, but at the same time, we had an introduction. We said hi to each other. Okay, let me see some of you. If you're available in the cam, we'll see each other. So we spoke about something about history of Waterfall, history of Agile. We too understood under Agile umbrella, we have Scrum, we have Kanban, we have extreme programming, we have lean methodology, and few more like FDD, we have Crystal, those methods are there, right? We also understood there are 120 questions in this exam. It's going to be 3 hours of examination. There is no break in the exam, one shot 3 hours. You can do that in your laptop at your home. You can go to center and write the examination, right? Also, we understood there are 3 books which we can refer through. One is Mike Griffith book for reading, PMI-ACP. Also, you can read through Agile Practice Guide, which is given by PMI. Also, you can look for Head First PMP. Shriram, don't give me 3 books, man. Tell me one book. If you ask me, Mike Griffith is one good book to read. Mike Griffith from PMI-ACP book. That's a really, really good book. Take that and start from chapter 1. There are 7 chapters in this exam. There are 7 domains, right? First 2 domains are very important. Many questions getting repeated from there. Our base starts from there, right? That's how we learned. What else we learned? I think you all got some fee structure. What is the fees for that? For now, I will say don't worry about the fees. So, Shriram, you're going to pay the fees? Not like that. You don't need to worry now, but you have to worry later. So now first worry on the preparation. First, you have to listen the classes and read the subject well. When you get to 1 or 2 weeks older from now, I will work out on your exam application. Let's push the application. Once it's get approved, then only you have to go for the exam fee, right? So, Shriram, what is the recommendation? When you think I can go for exam? That's a good question. Many of you want, when I can go for exam? I would tell 3 to 5 weeks is a good time, decent time. If you can read 2 hours per day, man, there you put a lock for me, 2 hours per day. Yes. So if you are going to read newly with the books, 2 hours is not possible. You can sit hardly 30 minutes with the book. Beyond that, your brain will tell, go there, go here, do that. You will do anything in the world except touching the book. Have anybody felt that? In the exam time, except book, you will do anything in the world. Anybody, your family member asks, buy this, I'll buy it, I'll go and buy it. Hey, can I clean the floor? I'll clean the floor, I'll clean the floor. Right? Don't touch the book, I'll do anything, right? This will take some rhythm time. So for rhythm time, give 30 minutes per day, every day. That's what I'm asking you to write down the assignment. When you sit and write assignment, you'll get a self-accomplishment. Your brain starts feeling good. First, you have to educate your brain to feel happy. Once your brain starts feeling happy, even 4 hours of reading look like 20 minutes of reading. I'll tell you, literally it happens. First thing what I do is I'll buy a book. I'll get a friendship with the book. I'll keep visiting the book regularly. I'll put some pencil sketch here and there. that slowly I'll feel that this is my place. See, the dogs and the animal do that. When they go to the same place, they spread the scent there. It is my place, my place. We are not the animal, right? Let's not do the same way of writing, doing scribbling. You make it a friend. After some time, it will go like anything. You will keep reading like anything. I know I have some experts in this room, just thought of passing it. First, get friendship with the book. Start liking it. Slowly get there. First day, don't try 4 hours of reading. 4 hours, you can watch Bahubali movie, not this book. You cannot sit. Okay. So that's how the human nature is. So point here is, first day we learned that books, exam, application, Agile 4 manifesto, 12 principles, the high level. Also, we understood which book we can read through. Right? Are we comfortable today? Was it a good day? Okay, let me see the chat. Soft copy shared. Okay, good. I think you're getting message from Rahul there. And don't worry, as you are in our WhatsApp group, we'll be guiding you. Everything you'll get. Only thing you have to do is sit and read. Rest all will be on your place. Don't worry about the books. Don't worry about the mock exams. Don't worry about daily question. There is a WhatsApp group for ACP where we post everyday questions. So please join that WhatsApp group. Answer those questions. By evening, you get the answers. See, is this answer mapping with yours? If it is mapping, see why it is right, why it is wrong. This analysis you have to do daily. So daily questions and question mark, books, everything in place. Okay, I think we're good for the day. First today, I don't want to drill you too much. Now go back, take a rest, do the writing habits. I'll share the assignments, what to do, and post that. We'll get for tomorrow for follow-up sessions. Sounds good? Fantastic, fantastic. Yeah. Thanks a lot for everyone for participating here today. I'm going to spend another 5-10 minutes here. If anybody have any questions, you are free to open. If you don't have any questions, you're free to leave here. Thanks a lot. Great. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, I'm staying here for 5-10 minutes. Any questions?
Yeah, Shriram, Arun here.
Yeah, please, sir. Please go ahead.
Shriram, how can we differentiate between incremental and iterative?
Okay, okay. I'm yet to go that level, but I'll put it quickly. Incremental and iterative. Now, in predictive approach, we get a deliverable as a final deliverable. We plan everything in advance and we'll work accordingly and we'll deliver it. In iterative also, you get the final deliverable, but we keep tuning our requirements as we move forward. You do repeatedly checking on how we are doing course correction towards a final deliverable. So iterative means course correction, rotating course correction, course correction, course correction, course correction, and give a deliverable. Rather blindly working on the deliverable. We invite our customers can give some feedback, we correct ourselves and move towards it. It's iterative. Incremental. My customer wants a deliverable which they can use right now. No need to wait for the final deliverable. My project also supports a nature where it can have a portion of the work can be given as a deliverable. So it's going to be incremental, adding layer 1, layer 2, layer 1, layer 2. Something like if you go to a restaurant, my bearer don't bring all the food at one shot. They give me incremental. They give soups. Once I complete the soups, they give papad. With the papad, they give me butter naan. Then they go with the main course. Then they come with the ice creams. They start incrementally adding things. Possible. In some restaurants, it's possible, right? You get incrementally. Now that's iterative is repeatedly you refine to get the final deliverable until it gets best. Until it gets best, you repeatedly do that iterative. Incremental giving. Here also you get feedback. Here also you do course correction. But a deliverable starts coming out, usable starts coming out. Agile is mix of both, iterative plus incremental. You repeatedly get the requirement details and give incremental deliverable. You get feedback on that. You do course correction continuously. That is why you have daily stand-up. 2 weeks once you have a demonstration. you have a retrospective to do all these corrections. Anyway, these all we'll talk in the classes, just for information, a quick heads up to you.
Yeah, thanks.
Great. That's a good question. Anything more I can help out? Okay, Shankar, is it a bicycle behind you?
Oh, yeah. That's right.
Oh man, which city you said? Dubai, right?
No, Doha, Qatar.
Man, Doha it be burning hot, right? You do cycling in the early morning as you do.
Well, it's a desert, right? So you will be having a very freezing winter and and scorchy summer.
4 months it will be cold, right? 4 months it will be cold.
Yeah, it's like between two summer and winter, you have a pleasant, so that's the good time to enjoy outside. Actually, it's close. We are going to slowly into the summer right now.
So by the time cycle won't come out.
Yeah, that's why it's here. Otherwise, it would be in the package.
I know that's tough. Great, good to know. Can I help any more questions, or are we good for the day? Okay, assuming everything is good.
Just a quick one, if you allow me. How far we can compare PMP and ACP based on the examination perspective? Like just a quick, I know it's too early to ask, but.
Yeah. Comparison wise, PMP is like a Burj Khalifa, the tallness, okay, the highest, tallest building, whereas ACP can be 20-25% out of that. That's how the level is. The intensity of the subject and the question model. That to the current PMP, super high. Current PMP, they made it. I'll talk on two angles for you. One is in the subject. PMP subject is pretty broad. It covers leadership very deep. It covers Agile also now. It covers predictive, adaptive, and Agile model, all mixed up there. And it takes more care of risk management. It takes more care of vendor management very deeply. Quality factors, all are there. So it's pretty broad in subject. Exam intensity is pretty high because of the nature of the questions will go more deep of situations, right? PMP is that. Pretty tough, pretty high. And coming to ACP, ACP cannot have that much of coverage. The reason is purely Agile. In Agile, risk management is a very small area. Since we do a repeated work, risk will not accumulate. So you no need to have a risk mitigation strategy and all. Then and there fix the issue. So risk is not going deep. Vendor management, nothing to go deep inside here, right? No long-term planning. Since no long-term planning, no schedule management, no cost management. So you don't do anything deep inside. It's all lightweight. Since it's lightweight, exam question also moderately lightweight. Okay, I won't go very easy. If you compare Scrum methodology exams, scaled agile framework exams, that's how those exams are. It's always single line. ACP exams, it's a little tougher comparing to CSM or scaled agile, where you have to read a lot and understand the situation, know the principles well, then only you can answer. So PMP is a pretty tall like Burj Khalifa, whereas this will be moderate 20 to 25% higher, but no way comparing to CSM and scaled agile. It's CSM scaled agile pretty low in the exam model. Subject is good, exam is pretty low, whereas these guys are pretty high in the model. Hope it gives some idea for you.
Oh yeah, and I'm feeling a bit relaxed about the examination hours. It's 3 hours, which is lesser than PMP.
But PMP is good now. They're giving 2 breaks.
Oh yeah, recently. Yeah.
Every 60 questions there is a break. I don't know when you took exam. When you took the exam?
1 month back.
Then still you enjoyed 1 break.
No, I got 2 breaks.
2 breaks, right? Right. I know maybe Ashok will agree with me. Years back when you write exam, no break. 4 hours continuously will slap you.
Yeah, I have experienced that as well, as I was like a long traveler of PMP.
4 hours continuously will slap you. Top.
And by the way, Sriram, one of my attempt, after I completed 150 questions, my housemate crossed. It's a proctor based. And even though I gave a warning, not a warning, I gave a notification to the proctors because she was not informed about the examination. It's my mistake. So I myself, put it during the examination. She doesn't know about this. She's crossing. I want to share the information, but they didn't allow me. And eventually, after 150 questions finished, they canceled it. And thankfully, everything is recorded, isn't it? So finally, I wrote everything to PMI and I got the chance back once again. And that's where I passed it.
God, look at the way. I know you follow the ethics of PMI. Thanks for doing that.
That's what I did. Exactly. The ethics team I contacted, and being connected with those people last 10 years, somehow I reaped some benefits.
Thanks for following the honesty and ethics. Appreciate it. Okay, that's great. Good. By the way, ACP, don't worry, it's a doable exam. For anybody here, I'm not telling you it's too tough, but don't compare with CSM exam and do this. Little reading, 3 to 4 weeks of reading and 1 week of practice exam. 3 practice exams are pretty sufficient. 120, 120, 120. In practice exams, if you can touch the scores between 68 to 70, 73%, it's a decent one to go to clear the examination, right? So it's not too hard, at the same time, not too easy. I should not blindfold you to tell that it's not too easy. You have to read. You have to read to clear the exam, right? Good. Fantastic. Thanks all for participating. I know I went extra 20 minutes. Thursday, that's how it is. And from tomorrow, it will be better to go forward. Thanks all for joining today, and we'll catch up tomorrow on the day 2 session. Have a great day. We'll catch up soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Shriram.
Thank you, Shriram.